Chapter 294. Is there any delicious food? Jean Bebe asked. Chung Mingqiang was speechless. Sister Bebe, they are just some antiques. You can admire them. That's boring. You can't eat them, Jean Bebe said disdainfully. The atmosphere was ruined by Jean Bebe's words. Chung Mingqiang was very depressed, but he couldn't do anything to Jean Bebe. At this moment, Lu Zhenming arrived with his follower, Skinny Monkey, and Qi Zhigao. They were walking in this direction. Behind them were a few people from the upper class. However, they weren't as famous as the 9 great families. Seeing Qi Zhigao, hostility flashed across Chung Mingqiang's eyes. He said calmly, "Since everyone is here, let's go and visit the Chung family's collection room." Qi Zhigao glanced at Xiao Chun and didn't say anything. He followed Chung Mingqiang to the collection room. Lu Zhenming ran over without any scruples. He came to Xiao Chun's side and pulled Xiao Chun half a step back on purpose. They were a few steps away from the people in front of them. "What are you going to do?" Xiao Chun asked. "Xiao Chun, can you help me find out what Chao Yuliang gave Chung Minjing for her birthday?" Lu Zhenming was more concerned about his rival in love, Chao Yuliang. "Oh, I did. He gave her flowers," Xiao Chun said. "Ah, he gave her flowers too. How did he know? Young Master Xiao, did you also tell him?" Lu Zhenming stared blankly and asked somewhat unhappily. "Why would I tell him? He knows Chung Minjing better. We've been in the same school for so many years," Xiao Chun said. "Ah, you're right. I'm sorry, Xiao Chun. I almost wronged you. Haha." Lu Zhenming quickly laughed it off and said, "Right, Xiao Chun, can you help me do some damage? If both of them send flowers, it will be meaningless, and Chung Minjing will not take it seriously. Do you think you can make Chao Yuliang fail to send flowers? Why are you so troublesome? Am I your servant? Do you think we can do whatever you want?" Xiao Chun glared and said angrily annoyed. No, I'm asking for your help. About the ancient jade. I've already inquired about it for you. There should be a good ancient jade in my father's place. You know, he likes to be cultured, so he has a lot of this kind of antiques for show. I'll get it for you later, Lu Zhenming said immediately. "Oh, bring it to me as soon as possible. I'll consider helping you," said Xiao Chun. "Okay, no problem. As long as you help me destroy Chao Yuliang's flowers, I will definitely keep my word." Lu Zhenming was overjoyed and said quickly. To be honest, he didn't care about a piece of broken ancient jade. Although this thing was valuable, most of the Lu family's goods were illegal. It couldn't be put on the table. If Xiao Chun liked it, he would give it to him. "Well, let's discuss it and see how to do it," Xiao Chun said. "If you want me to help, you at least have a suggestion, right? How can I help you?" "Brother Lu, how about we let Xiao Chun secretly steal Chao Yuliang's flowers and throw them away?" Thin Monkey thought about it and suggested. "What are you thinking? Are you stupid? If you steal it and Chao Yuliang finds out that the flowers are gone, he can find someone to buy another bunch in minutes. You can't do it." Lu Zhenming wasn't stupid. He immediately thought of the drawbacks of doing this. "How about this? You secretly replace Chao Yuliang's flowers with something else, and then leave the rest to me," Xiao Chun said. "Change it to something else. Change it to what? A flower with a lower grade than my flower? Then Chao Yuliang can also find out, right?" Lu Zhenming didn't dare to scold Xiao Chun for being stupid, so he could only retort weakly. "Doesn't the Chung family have their own vegetable garden? You can just pull out a green onion and make it look like a flower." Xiao Chun waved his hand and said, "As for finding out, he can't find out. I used to pursue Xinjingxian, so I learned magic, and I'm very good at it. At that time, I will make a camouflage so that he won't think that there's a problem with his flowers. That works? Is it true? Can he be fooled?" Lu Zhenming was a little uncertain. "Xiao Chun, don't trick me. Although we had a conflict before, aren't we in a cooperative relationship now? You also said that we had a conflict before. Don't you remember that you used a broken bowl to trick me?" Xiao Chun said faintly. "I remember. Ugh, I didn't trick you." Lu Zhenming quickly denied it. "Okay, everyone knows what happened. At that time I used a camouflage. Didn't you and Xiao Chun fall for it?" Xiao Chun interrupted his words and said, "At that time it was a camouflage. Really? That's definitely fine." Lu Zhenming was overjoyed after listening. In the beginning, Xiaochen deceived him and you Xiaochuan. No wonder I felt something was wrong at the beginning. It turned out to be a magic camouflage by Xiaochen. In the beginning they suspected that Xiaochen knew magic. Now it seemed that this was true. However, Lu Zhiming wasn't annoyed. The past was in the past. As long as Xiaochen successfully tricked Qiao Yuliang today, it was worth it. Then you guys go and prepare. Just look at me when the time comes. Xiaochen said. Also don't forget the ancient jade. Otherwise, I won't help you next time. Don't worry Xiaochen. Lu Zhiming nodded. They went to the collection room together. But Thin Monkey disappeared. He sneaked back to the previous banquet hall. And then found the suitcase that Qiao Yuliang brought over. When he opened it, there was a bouquet of very beautiful flowers inside. Qiao Yuliang prepared to take it out at the critical moment. He deliberately hid it before so that he could give Cheng Minjing a surprise. Thin Monkey held back his smile, and then took Qiao Yuliang's flowers directly out. At this time, the guests in the hall were in a mess. They were talking to each other, and no one noticed him. When he came to the door, Thin Monkey found a trash can and threw the flowers away. He kept the packaging, and then began to wander around the Cheng family's courtyard. There were many guests who came to the banquet. In addition to these aristocratic children, there were also some rich people and local small families. These people also wanted to curry favor with the Cheng family. Therefore, there were many people in the Cheng family's courtyard. When Thin Monkey went out, no one noticed him at all. After wandering around, Thin Monkey found a vegetable farm. At this moment, the servants of the Cheng family were harvesting fresh vegetables in the field and preparing to send them to the kitchen. Thin Monkey picked up a few blooming green onions and stuffed them into the previous flower packaging. Then he turned around and walked back. When he returned to the banquet hall, Thin Monkey happened to see the servants decorating the background of the banquet hall. There happened to be spray paint, so he picked up a can of red paint and sprayed it on the green onions in his hand. The flowers on the green onions turned red. Of course, if you looked at it suddenly, it really looked like a nice bouquet of flowers. Thin Monkey grinned. Xiaochen's idea was really good. He sneaked back to the banquet hall and put the bouquet of flowers back into Qiao Yuliang's box. Then, he sat aside as if nothing had happened. On the other side, Shen Jinghao caught up with Medicine Master Sun and Lu Fangzhen. He quickly slowed down and stopped beside them. Shen Jinghao got out of the driveway and asked, Elder Lu, Medicine Master Sun, where are you going? Let me give you a ride. Elder Lu, what do you think? Medicine Master Sun didn't dare to make a decision, so he turned to look at Lu Fangzhen. I don't think it's necessary. I just want to stroll around. I don't have a specific place to go. Lu Fangzhen thought for a moment and said, I don't want to trouble others. It's not troublesome, Elder Lu. We still have a long way to go to leave the manor. There are highways all along the way, and there are no sidewalks ahead. It's not safe. Shen Jinghao said, unwilling to give up. Elder Lu, Mr. Shen is right. It's really inconvenient if there are no cars here. Medicine Master Sun nodded. He didn't help Shen Jinghao. The main problem was that neither he nor Elder Lu were warriors. If they walked such a long way, wouldn't they die of exhaustion? Besides, if they encountered a car on the road and couldn't avoid it in time, wouldn't they be killed directly? Okay, then we'll take a car. Lu Fangzhen didn't insist. He just didn't know where Shen Jinghao came from. He thought that Shen Jinghao was sent by the Cheng family to make up for his mistake. But when he heard that his surname was Shen, it was obvious that he was not from the Cheng family. After offending Lu Fangzhen, the Cheng family sent an outsider to please them. There was no sincerity at all. Elder Lu, please. Shen Jinghao quickly opened the back door of the car and held the roof of the car with his hand to prevent Lu Fangzhen from hitting his head. After Lu Fangzhen and Medicine Master Sun got in the car, Shen Jinghao got in and asked, Elder Lu, Medicine Master Sun, are we going to the warrior market? Okay, let's go for a walk. Lu Fangzhen didn't refuse. He hadn't been to the warrior market since he came to Songning City. It was reasonable for him to go for a walk. Okay. Shen Jinghao started the car. Little Shen, didn't you go to the Cheng family's banquet? Lu Fangzhen asked. My daughter and Cheng Minjing's birthday party are good friends. I'm sending her there. Shen Jinghao said. It doesn't matter whether I go or not. I saw that Elder Lu didn't have a car, so I wanted to give you a ride. Oh, Cheng Minjing, right? That girl is very beautiful. What's the relationship between her and Xiao Chen? Lu Fengzhen pretended to ask casually. Cheng Minjing used to be Xiao Chen's fiancée. But after Xiao Chen was kicked out of the Xiao family, the Cheng family broke off the engagement. Xiao Chen then became Cheng Minjing's servant. Shen Jinghao said. Although he was a little puzzled why medicine master Lu asked this, Lu Fengzhen had probably spoken up for Xiao Chen. Oh. Lu Fengzhen nodded. He had heard from Hongzhu that Xiao Chen was kicked out of the family, but Hongzhu didn't tell him about Cheng Minjing. Now he knew the complicated relationship between Xiao Chen and Cheng Minjing. He thought to himself that the Cheng family were blind people who couldn't recognize a gem. Not only did they not know him, but Xiao Chen, such a powerful medicine master, broke off the engagement with him? Didn't they know that in many cases, medicine masters had a higher status than warriors? Chapter 295. However, LV Fengzhen didn't want to get involved in this kind of thing. Obviously, Xiao Chen didn't tell the Cheng family about him, so LV Fengzhen didn't want to get involved. He just said lightly, the Cheng family is too arrogant. I think so too. Apothecary's son nodded in agreement and said flatteringly, in the future, I won't sell the pills and medicines I refined to the Cheng family. That's not necessary. We're doing business, so there's no need to be ruthless. LV Fengzhen waved his hand. Originally, he wanted to punish the Cheng family, but considering the complicated relationship between Xiao Chen and the Cheng family, he didn't intervene. Yes, Apothecary's son, you're right. I understand. Apothecary's son nodded quickly. Little Shun, are you also a member of the Songming family? LV Fengzhen glanced at Shen Jinghao, who was driving, and asked. He knew Shen Jinghao's mind very well, but LV Fengzhen wouldn't promise him anything. After all, it was impossible to get close to him, just because of a car ride. That was unrealistic. I'm a member of the Shen family of Shiwu province. Shen Jinghao replied quickly. He had been looking for an opportunity to talk to LV Fengzhen, but he didn't get it. Now that he had the opportunity, he naturally wouldn't let it go. I'm developing my own business in Songming City. Elder LV, why did you come to Songming City this time? Oh, I'm just walking around. LV Fengzhen said. I know about the Shen family of Shiwu province. I've seen your family's Shen Changlong. He had some problems with his cultivation, and I helped him with the medicine. Shen Jinghao said quickly. Ah, it turns out that you're the savior of second grandpa. I thank you on his behalf. If you need any elixirs in the future, you can ask little son to take care of you. LV Fengzhen said lightly, which was also a promise to thank Shen Jinghao for his hospitality. As for asking Shen Jinghao to look for him, it was impossible. What kind of status did LV Fengzhen have? Even if the Shen family of Shiwu province wanted to look for him, it was not easy to meet them. All right, thank you, old Lu. Shen Jinghao said gratefully, but in his heart, he was a little disappointed. Medicine Master Sun's level was limited, and the pills and medicines he could make were not lacking in the Shen family. Although it was not a bad thing to have a good relationship with Medicine Master Sun, the help he could provide was limited. Of course, Shen Jinghao didn't think that LV Fengzhen would give him anything in return. That wasn't realistic. He just wanted to get familiar with LV Fengzhen and see if there was a chance to get closer to LV Fengzhen in the future. If he could let his son, Shen Jingmao, get to know LV Fengzhen, then Shen Jingmao would have one more bargaining chip in the competition for the position of young master. However, there was a limit to how much they could get to know each other. At the very least, LV Fengzhen could be invited to some activities of the Shen family, and it would be best for Shen Jingmao to be apprenticed to LV Fengzhen. Even if Shen Jingmao became LV Fengzhen's nominal disciple, it would be of great benefit. However, Shen Jinghao could not help but smile bitterly. What kind of status did LV Fengzhen have? Why help him? And LV Fengzhen had nothing to ask of Shen Jinghao. When they arrived at the warrior's market, LV Fengzhen and Medicine Master Sun got out of the car and left. Although LV Fengzhen nodded to Shen Jinghao with a smile when he got out of the car, Shen Jinghao knew that it would be difficult to see LV Fengzhen in the future if there was no opportunity. With a sigh, He drove back to the manor of the Chung family. In the collection room of the Chung family, Chung Mingqiang pointed at an ancient jade proudly and said, "This is a waist token used by a famous national general of the Great Xia dynasty in ancient times. It is very memorable. Look, it says National General of the Great Xia dynasty." Xiao Chen's expression changed slightly. "This is an ancient jade? I just need it. How can I get it? Isn't it just an ancient jade? What's there to show off?" Qi Zhigao curled his lips and said disdainfully. Qi Zhigao had long been unhappy with his rival in love. In front of Xiao Xiao, Qi Zhigao acted like a rich and handsome man, as if the Chung family was the most superior family. "Isn't it just an ancient jade? I say, Qi Zhigao, have you seen an ancient jade before? Let's not talk about other things. With the heritage of your family, even if you have an ancient jade, it can't be used by these famous people." Chung Mingqiang said, "Indeed, my family doesn't have it. Moreover, I have never seen such a valuable ancient jade." Xiao Chen suddenly said at this time. "Ah!" Chung Mingqiang was stunned and looked at Xiao Chen in astonishment. He didn't expect that Xiao Chen would expose his shortcomings. Could it be that he had become stupid after being a follower of his sister recently? That he had begun to have servility in him? Qi Zhigao was also a little puzzled. What did Xiao Chen mean? However, he couldn't admit his relationship with Xiao Chen in public, so he didn't show it. Xiao Xiao also frowned slightly. She really didn't expect that Xiao Chen would say such a thing. Wasn't this boosting the morale of others and diminishing his own prestige? Even if he wasn't a member of the Xiao family now, his words still represented the Xiao family. "Can you show it to me?" Xiao Chen didn't feel ashamed and continued to ask. "Okay, then I will show it to you." Chung Mengqiang's self-esteem was greatly satisfied. Seeing that Xiao Chen was so inexperienced, his anger at the door also dissipated a little. He handed the waist tag of the ancient jade to Xiao Chen and said, "Take a good look at it. As a poor guy, this is probably the only time you can see it in your life." Yes. I have a good understanding of ancient jade, but I don't usually see ancient jade." Xiao Chen nodded. He carefully took the ancient jade and looked at it. However, he was thinking about how he could take it for himself. Jean Bebe glanced at Xiao Chen and grinned, which made Chung Mingqiang feel weird. Why did this little devil smile for no reason? Shen Jingxian didn't think that Xiao Chen was inexperienced. However, she also knew that Xiao Chen had been collecting ancient jade recently. She always felt that Xiao Chen was going to trick Chung Mingqiang. However, although she and Chung Minjing were best friends, she had nothing to do with Chung Mingqiang. Besides, the relationship between her and Xiao Chen was almost unparalleled. However, Chao Yuliang didn't think that Xiao Chen was inexperienced. Xiao Chen had just 1-2 pieces of ancient jade from Li Shanning. How could he not have seen ancient jade? However, he didn't know what Xiao Chen was going to do. He wanted to remind Chung Mingqiang, but he didn't know how to say it. "Idiot. Just use the mental cultivation method and absorb all the spiritual qi in the ancient jade. Anyway, it's such a small piece. It will be finished in a short while. This is much worse than your previous jade pendant." While Xiao Chen was thinking, he heard Elder Heaven Ancestor's black-bellied reminder. "Yes," Xiao Chen said. "But can it be finished in such a short time? The jade ring I got later also couldn't be finished in a short time, right? At that time, you were already at the peak of the 4th level of the qi refining stage. If you wanted to break through, you didn't have enough spiritual qi. So, you had an opportunity to break through," Elder Heaven Ancestor explained. "But now you have just consolidated the 5th level of the qi refining stage. There is still a long way to go before you reach the peak of the 5th level. Even if you absorb all the spiritual qi, it won't be enough." Oh, Xiao Chen responded in his heart. He quickly used the mental cultivation method and secretly absorbed the spiritual qi in the ancient jade. It was really cool and exciting to be a thief. On the surface, Xiao Chen was studying it very seriously like a country bumpkin. Chung Mingqiang was also happy to embarrass him. Anyway, the ancient jade was not bad, so he could look at it if he wanted to. Then he began to introduce other collections of the Chung family. Just as Elder Heaven Ancestor said, the spiritual qi in the ancient jade was not very much. Xiao Chen absorbed it for more than 10 minutes. He felt that his strength was improving at a very fast speed. Although there was still a long way to go before he reached the peak of the 5th level of the qi refining stage, he was already much stronger than before. At least now, he should be able to defeat a warrior with the 6th level of the qi refining stage. Just as Xiao Chun wanted to continue absorbing, Elder Heaven Ancestor suddenly stopped Xiao Chun. Stop! Ha! Xiao Chun was startled, and quickly stopped the circulation of the mental cultivation method. Then he asked doubtfully, "What's wrong? Elder Heaven Ancestor, is there something wrong?" "No, but if you continue to absorb, the ancient jade will break, and you will end up like the jade before," Elder Heaven Ancestor reminded. Oh, Xiao Chun was shocked. If the ancient jade was broken in Xiao Chun's hands, then Xiao Chun would not be able to explain. But if, thinking of this, Xiao Chun's mouth curved into a faint smile. "Hey, have you finished looking?" Cheng Mingqiang shouted at Xiao Chun. "Ah, I have finished looking. But this ancient jade seems to be fake," Xiao Chun said weakly. "Fake? What kind of look are you giving me?" Cheng Mingqiang was stunned. He stared at Xiao Chun. "Don't talk nonsense if you don't understand. This is the Cheng family's treasure. This is a very rare waste jade. On the battlefield, it can't be broken by a spear. How could it be fake?" "Oh, I have said before that I am very knowledgeable about ancient jade. This must be fake. You have been tricked," Xiao Chun said. "Xiao Chun, don't say that the grapes are sour," Cheng Mingqiang sneered. "What? If this jade is real, then later at the banquet, you will kneel and apologize to me. How about saying that you have eyes but cannot see?" Destroying Xiao Chun's reputation was one of Cheng Mingqiang's wishes. If Xiao Chun did such a thing, then he would never be able to return to the Xiao family, and he would never be able to reconcile with Cheng Minjing. "Oh, what if it is fake?" Xiao Chun asked. "Fake? If it is fake, then I will give it to you," Cheng Mingqiang snorted. "If it is fake, then you will give it to me? Are you sick? Was your head smashed by this jade before? Why would I want it if it is fake? It is not worth a penny. I will feel that it takes up space, even if you give it to me for free." Xiao Chun curled his lips and said. "Then what do you say?" Cheng Mingqiang was not angry at this moment. He just asked. As long as Xiao Chun agreed, then he could humiliate him. "If I win, then you will give me a real ancient jade," Xiao Chun said, making a bet in front of so many aristocratic families. He was not afraid that someone would not admit it later. This was also what Cheng Mingqiang valued. Chapter 296. Sure, no problem. Cheng Mingqiang agreed without thinking. He couldn't wait and said, "You can pick any piece of ancient jade here. Now, let's find an expert to identify its authenticity." The reason why Cheng Mingqiang dared to bet was that he was confident. This ancient jade waist tag was one of his favorite antiques. After finding an expert to identify it, he even specially tested it. It was indeed extremely hard. It could smash walnuts, nails, and even kill people. Therefore, from Cheng Mingqiang's point of view, Xiao Chun would lose without a doubt. There was only one result of this bet. That was he would win and Xiao Chun would suffer a crushing defeat. "Well, what expert? Didn't you say that this is hard iron jade? You try your best to smash it on the ground. If it doesn't break, then it's really hard iron jade. If it breaks, then it's not," Xiao Chun said directly. "Even a slightly harder jade can't break it. You will admit it if I smash it." Cheng Mingqiang didn't believe it was so simple. "I mean, this jade is of inferior quality. Golden jade on the outside is rotten on the inside. As long as it's really good ancient jade, it doesn't matter if it's hard iron jade or something else, you win," Xiao Chun said. "Really?" Cheng Mingqiang was amused. "Since you said so, I will fulfill your wish." After that, Cheng Mingqiang raised the ancient jade waist tag in his hand and slammed it on the ground, making a loud paw sound. Cheng Mingqiang was feeling pleased with himself, waiting for everyone's shock and angry praise, as well as Xiao Chun's bitter expression. However, what he waited for didn't come. What he waited for was a wave of shock and a piercing pain from his leg, as if something had burst open. He lowered his head and was suddenly dumbfounded. The ancient jade waist tag was broken and fell to the ground. How is this possible? However, the truth was the truth. Nothing was impossible. "You see, I said that your ancient jade is fake," But you didn't believe me. What eyesight do I have? Although I couldn't afford this thing in the past, I have seen a lot of it. Xiao Chen shook his head and said disdainfully, the middle of your broken thing is bad. It's not an ancient jade at all. Whose ancient jade is so bad? This, Cheng Mingqiang thought. Could it be that Xiao Chen secretly swapped it? However, it was impossible. In front of so many people, how could Xiao Chen do it secretly? Moreover, he did not know beforehand that he would be bringing everyone here for a tour. Nor did he know that he would have such a token. Moreover, Cheng Mingqiang was very fond of this waist token. He often held it in his hand and played with it. Therefore, he remembered some of the markings and patterns on the ancient jade waist token very clearly. Just now, he took a look at it, and there was no doubt that it was his ancient jade. Could it really be fake? Otherwise, why would it shatter into pieces? But it wasn't like this before. Cheng Mingqiang muttered to himself in confusion. I tried it before, but it didn't break no matter how hard I hit it. Oh, I heard that there's a way to fake it. It's to soak the fake jade in some chemicals. It's hard on the outside, but after a long time, it'll be exposed when the drug wears off, Xiao Chen said. Cheng Mingqiang's face was very ugly. Although he didn't want to believe it, he had no choice because the facts were in front of him. He had to believe it. Okay, I'm blind. I lost. Cheng Mingqiang was also able to accept it. In fact, it was useless for him to deny it now. After all, there were so many people watching. If he didn't admit it, it wouldn't just be Cheng Mingqiang's face, but the face of the Cheng family. Oh, then I'll choose the ancient jade. Xiao Chen nodded, and began to choose the ancient jade in the display cabinet. Okay. Although Cheng Mingqiang was heartbroken, and he would inevitably be scolded by old Master Cheng afterward, it wasn't good to regret at this time. Fortunately, he saw that Xiao Chen's gaze stopped on a piece of inconspicuous ancient jade. This ancient jade didn't have any origin, but its quality was a little better. It seemed that Xiao Chen didn't know the origin of the ancient jade at all. He only paid attention to the ones with good quality. However, this also confirmed the fact that Xiao Chen had studied ancient jade. The quality of this jade was indeed very good, but it didn't have a name. I'll take this one. Xiao Chen picked up a piece of spiritual jade that contained more spiritual energy. In fact, it was impossible for Xiao Chen to check it one by one. If he checked the entire collection room, it would be too fake. Moreover, it would easily expose his purpose. A quick battle was the king's way. No problem. Seeing the spiritual jade in Xiao Chen's hand, Cheng Mingqiang suddenly breathed a sigh of relief. Sure enough, Xiao Chen chose this piece, so Cheng Mingqiang quickly agreed. Okay, take the ancient jade. Then let's go out. The banquet is about to start. Cheng Mingqiang was not in the mood to show off his wealth anymore. After being fooled by Xiao Chen, he was the one who lost face in the end. Although no one dared to laugh at him, Cheng Mingqiang knew that Qi Zhigao and the others might not necessarily be gloating in his heart. As expected, when they came out, the banquet was about to start. The waiters had already started to serve desserts and drinks. The birthday banquet was in the form of a buffet. The guests could take whatever they needed. Xiao Chen and the others returned to their previous seats. As the heir of the Cheng family, Cheng Mingqiang naturally had to be busy greeting the guests at this moment. Cousin-in-law, there seems to be a lot of delicious food. Jean Bebe pointed at the table full of delicious food not far away, drooling. There was a super lobster. Xiao Chen was also hungry. He had eaten lunch at noon, but he hadn't had dinner yet. After the crazy cultivation just now, he was quite exhausted. His stomach was growling. Therefore, he said, let's go and eat. Great, great, great. It's Bebe's favorite. Jean Bebe danced with joy and walked to the buffet table with Xiao Chen. Hey buddy, where are the plates for the guests? Xiao Chen asked a waiter who was serving the dishes. I'm sorry, the banquet hasn't started yet. No plates are available for the time being, the waiter said. When Xiao Chen was about to say something, he saw Jean Bebe directly grabbing a piece of tiramisu cake and stuffing it into her mouth. Is she going to eat it directly? After thinking for a while, Xiao Chen imitated Jean Bebe. He directly grabbed a piece of egg crisp and put it into his mouth. The waiter next to him was dumbfounded. Are the two of them here for free food and drinks? Cousin-in-law, I want that lobster. Jean Bebe pointed at the lobster not far away, and said while chewing the apple pie in her mouth. Oh, okay. Xiao Chen directly pulled the lobster over, broke the shell, and gave it to Jean Bebe. The waiter was at a loss. By logic, those who could enter the banquet hall were all the guests of the Chung family, and there shouldn't be such a situation. However, the two of them were too unconventional. While he was in a dilemma, the waiter suddenly saw Chung Mingxiang, who was busy serving the guests. Therefore, he hurried to run over and said, "Young Master Chung, look, some guests have started to eat by themselves. But they didn't give us the cutlery, did they?" Chung Mingxiang was stunned. The waiter pointed at Xiao Chen's direction and said, "They started to eat directly." Chung Mingxiang raised his head and saw that Xiao Chen was peeling the lobster. He was immediately infuriated. The banquet hasn't started yet. How dare you, a servant and a follower, eat by yourself? He was worried that he didn't have a reason to take revenge on Xiao Chen. Therefore, Chung Mingxiang rushed to Xiao Chen at an extremely fast speed. Of course, if he saw Jean Bebe, he would definitely not be so impulsive. However, Jean Bebe had gone to get drinks. Therefore, Chung Mingxiang only saw Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen knew. While running, Chung Mingxiang was thinking about how to humiliate Xiao Chen. Ah, get out of the way. Before Chung Mingxiang could continue, he heard a voice not far away from him. Then, a glass of watermelon juice was poured on his head. It was all red, as if he had been beaten up. Chung Mingxiang touched the red juice on his head with a complicated expression. He was dumbfounded. Xiao Chong, you are an outstanding martial artist of the younger generation. Your reaction is too slow. I told you to get out of the way. Look, you are screwed. Jean Bebe walked over unsteadily. My watermelon juice is in vain. Sister Bebe, why did you pour watermelon juice on me? Chung Mingxiang asked while suppressing the anger in his heart. Oh, I ran too fast and my breasts were too big. So the watermelon juice was spilled. I didn't do it on purpose. Jean Bebe said. Cousin-in-law, when will you treat my breasts? Make them smaller? Xiao Chen asked. No, just make them not too heavy. I don't want them to be small, Jean Bebe said. Then I have no choice. Here, eat the lobster. It's peeled. Xiao Chen handed the lobster in his hand to Jean Bebe. Okay. The lobster is delicious. Cousin-in-law, you should eat too. Jean Bebe said. Oh, you should eat. There's more here. Xiao Chen dragged another lobster over. There were only 2 lobsters left on the table. The rest had all been eaten. Chung Mingxiang suddenly realized that he was like an idiot. He had wanted to lose his temper. But not only did it turn into a torrent of abuse, he also helplessly discovered that Xiao Chen was only accompanying Jean Bebe to eat. I'm going to take a shower. Chung Mingxiang turned around and was about to leave, full of anger. Wait, the lobsters are almost finished. Tell the kitchen to get 2 more plates. Jean Bebe said to Chung Mingxiang. Okay. Chung Mingxiang realized that he was the king servant, and Xiao Chen was enjoying himself. However, Jean Bebe had said that Xiao Chen would serve her the whole time. Therefore, he could not say anything else, and could only leave gloomily. However, he felt that something was not right while he was walking. Xiao Chen had already broken off the engagement with Chung Minjing. Why was Jean Bebe still calling him her cousin-in-law? The adulterous couple was so king compatible. Chung Mingxiang thought wickedly. It must be because they have special interests, and like to play with brothers-in-law and sisters-in-law. The moment Chung Minjing showed up, she saw Jean Bebe and Xiao Chen stuffing themselves with food on the other side of the table. She did not know whether to laugh or cry. These 2 guys were really unconventional. However, the young mistress was not surprised at all. They were always like that at home. Seeing a waiter walking over with a plate of spicy rabbit meat, Jean Bebe had sharp eyes. She shouted, Cousin-in-law, I want to eat rabbit meat. Chapter 297. Okay. Hardly had Jean Bebe finished her sentence when Xiao Chen picked up a rabbit leg from the waiter's plate and stuffed it into Jean Bebe's mouth. It's delicious, Jean Bebe complimented while eating. Cousin-in-law, you should eat it too. Old Master Chung and the other important guests walked into the banquet hall at this moment too. Next to him was Master Jean. The two families were actually somewhat related. Jean Beibei's mother and Cheng Minjing's mother were biological sisters. They were both from the Zhu family. It was also because of that Master Jean came here in person. As for the seniors of the other families, they did not come. After all, it was unnecessary for them to come to celebrate the birthday of a junior like Cheng Minjing. The moment old Master Cheng entered the banquet hall, he saw Xiao Chun and Jean Beibei, who were feasting by the table. However, since Master Jean was right next to him, it was inappropriate for him to say anything. Besides, he had known Jean Beibei for a long time. Therefore, he would not say anything at this moment. He merely said, "Beibei and Xiao Chun seem to be getting along quite well, don't they?" In fact, it was also a test. Earlier, when the Jean family made an ambiguous announcement, old Master Cheng was quite confused about the Jean family's attitude, too. Although the two families were somewhat related, not to mention that they were relatives, even if it was a marriage based on mutual interests, it was not realistic to think that they could learn each other's plans and secrets in such a way. Therefore, old Master Cheng was quite suspicious about Master Jin's purpose of supporting Xiao Chun. Was it because Jean Beibei and Xiao Chun got along well? Although it was not beneficial for a lady from a noble family to marry a useless young master like Xiao Chun who had been driven out of the family, Gold Fur Lion was a maverick who did not play by the rules at all. Nobody knew what he was thinking. Oh, he's been getting along quite well. Isn't Xiao Chun Mingyin's follower? How could he not be with Beibei every day? Elder Jin's reply was a little vague, and couldn't even be considered an answer. Old Master Cheng nodded, and didn't say anything else. They were all smart people. Seeing that old Master Cheng didn't want to say more, they let it go. The banquet began. Accompanied by the grand entrance music, Cheng Minjing stepped onto the stage, and the MC kept saying auspicious words. In fact, the birthday banquet of a big family seemed to be a birthday celebration. But in fact, it was a gathering for these upper-class people to build relationships and discuss cooperation. The Cheng family also had the same goal. Some of the families and forces that had more or less contact with the Cheng family were all present. Cheng Zhongming and Cheng Zhongfan shuttled among the guests, accumulating connections for the Cheng family. "Guests, please present your birthday gifts," said the MC. Those who could present birthday gifts on the stage were all important people. As for those who were not important, no matter how rich they were or how good their gifts were, they were not qualified to go on the stage. At this time, in addition to the children of the big families in Songning, some small families that had close cooperation with the Cheng family were qualified to go on the stage. Jean Beibei gave Cheng Minjing a doll. After she went on the stage, she didn't come down. Instead, she accompanied Cheng Minjing and helped Cheng Minjing take care of those gifts. This was also requested by Cheng Minjing in advance. Jean Beibei was the first to go on the stage, so that she could help her. Shen Jingxian gave Cheng Minjing a crystal corsage. Soon, it was Chao Yuliang's turn to present flowers on the stage. Regarding Chao Yuliang being ranked in front of Lu Zhenming was actually very helpless about this. But who asked the Lu family to be the last of the 9 families? Without Xiao Chen's good idea, Lu Zhenming would definitely be very depressed. However, he was not depressed at this moment. Instead, he was looking forward to it. Thanks to Xiao Chen's help, Lu Zhenming felt lucky. If he hadn't asked for Xiao Chen's help, he would have gone on the stage after Chao Yuliang presented flowers. In that case, he would not have been outstanding at all. But now, Chao Yuliang took out the flowers from the box with a smile on his face, and then walked quickly in the direction of the stage. Xiao Chen had set up an illusion casually. Therefore, Chao Yuliang did not notice that there was something wrong with the flowers in his hand at all. He held his head high, and went on the stage excitedly. Then he knelt on one knee, raised the flowers high above his head, and said with a serious expression, "Minjing, on this important day, I'm giving you a bouquet of flowers. The flowers represent my heart. There are thousands of words that I want to say, but I don't want to say it." Cheng Minjing frowned. It was actually normal to give flowers on a birthday, but there was something wrong with the way Chao Yuliang presented the flowers. It was obviously a gesture, Wasn't it a gesture to propose? If Chung Minjing accepted it, did it mean that she had agreed to Chow Yuliang's proposal? If she refused in front of so many people, it would be inappropriate for Chung Minjing to do that. She took a look at Jean Beibei. Fortunately, Jean Beibei came up to help her. Otherwise it would be troublesome. That was actually Chow Yuliang's plan. If he presented the flowers in such a way, Chung Minjing would have to accept it. Later there would be more important scenes. At that time, Chow Yuliang's father would propose to the Chung family on behalf of the Chow family. Oh Xiao Liangzi, the flowers are not so good. They look so ugly. But for the sake of your sincerity, I'll accept them reluctantly. Jean Beibei took the flowers from Chow Yuliang's hand casually. Ugly? How could it be? These are imported roses delivered by air. Besides, why did you accept them? Chow Yuliang was about to refute her, but he found that the flowers in Jean Beibei's hand were not imported roses at all. What kind of weird flowers were they? Huh? Why do they smell like green onions? Jean Beibei suddenly spoke. She picked up Chow Yuliang's flowers and sniffed them carefully. Then she suddenly burst into laughter. Cousin Minjing, Chow Yuliang gave you a bunch of green onions. Chung Minjing had smelled the scent of green onions just now. She thought that Chow Yuliang did not brush his teeth after eating green onions. She did not expect that Chow Yuliang would give her a bunch of green onions. This is not mine. Chow Yuliang was truly baffled. It was impossible. When he stepped onto the stage just now, he clearly saw a bunch of roses. How did they turn into green onions? Oh Chow Yuliang, thank you for your gift. Chung Minjing nodded. Beibei, take them home and ask Xiao Chen to cook. Okay. Beibei loves sea cucumbers with green onions. Liangzi, bring some more sea cucumbers here tomorrow, said Jean Beibei. Okay. Chow Yuliang nodded in a daze. He did not know what to say. Ha 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 ha. The guests below the stage all found it funny. However, who did not know Chow Yuliang's identity? They did not dare to laugh casually at this moment. However, Lu Zhenming was different. He and Chow Yuliang were sworn enemies. Naturally, he did not mind mocking him. Who? Hearing the ear-piercing laughter, Chow Yuliang trembled all over. He turned around, only to see Lu Zhenming convulsing with laughter. Lu Zhenming. It must be Lu Zhenming. Chow Yuliang gnashed his teeth. He did not doubt it at all. It was definitely him. Why didn't he think of it before? He should have been more vigilant. Since someone started to laugh, the other guests also laughed. Anyway, the law did not punish the masses. Hearing the guests below the stage laughing, Chow Yuliang felt that he had no face to continue. He could only postpone the proposal for a while. At least, he had to get off the stage to appease the people's mockery. However, who could tell him what was going on? It was a rose. How did it turn into a green onions? The packaging of the flowers was chosen by him. But the thing inside was different. After getting off the stage in low spirits, Lu Zhenming went up to present the flowers with his head held high. Although it was Jean Beibei who received the flowers on his behalf, Lu Zhenming felt that he was more respected than Chow Yuliang. Then, it was time for the group meal. Chung Minjing and Jean Beibei also got off the stage and sat beside Xiao Chen and Shen Jingxian. Chow Yuliang also adjusted his mood. Seeing Chung Minjing, he said with an apologetic smile, Minjing, I was just joking. Please don't mind me. At this moment, he could not blame it on Lu Zhenming. Firstly, he had no evidence. Secondly, it would be troublesome to explain. He might as well say that it was a joke. Oh, it's nothing. I happened to run out of green onions at home. Your gift came just in time. Chung Minjing nodded. Don't forget the sea cucumber, Jean Beibei reminded him. Haha, I won't, Chow Yuliang said hurriedly. The awkwardness from before was barely resolved. Chow Yuliang hurriedly called out to his father, who was not far away. Everybody please be quiet. Mr. Chow Lianli of the Chow family in Songning has something important to announce. At this moment the voice of the MC came. Chow Lianli had informed the Chung family in advance. Although the Chung family did not agree directly, they agreed to let him announce this news publicly. Hearing that the second-generation member of the Chow family wanted to announce something, the whole place became quiet at once. Dear guests and friends from well-known families, good evening. I'm Chow Lianli of the Chow family in Songning. On this beautiful night, On the beautiful occasion of Miss Chung Minjing's 20th birthday, I have something important to announce to you. On this special occasion, on behalf of the Chow family, I formally propose a marriage to the Chung family. My son, Chow Yuliang, is Miss Chung Minjing's classmate. They are childhood sweethearts. Although I can't guarantee that my son is a talented young man, he is young and promising. I hope that old Master Chung can agree to this marriage, Chow Lianli said in a tone that was neither servile nor overbearing. Well, Chow Yuliang, I know this young man. He has the strength of stage 3 internal force. He is indeed a talented young man. It is no exaggeration. He is much stronger than some useless young masters. Besides, he has endured for so many years, so he is very smart. Old Master Chung nodded with a smile. However, he did not give a clear answer about the marriage. He did not deny it, nor did he affirm it. However, his attitude made Chow Yuliang feel relieved. As long as old Master Chung did not reject it explicitly, it meant that there was still hope. Otherwise, if old Master Chung did not like it, he could just reject it directly. There was no need to say that. Chapter 298. However, when old man Chung spoke, he deliberately pointed out one thing, and that was that he was much stronger than some useless young masters. As for who this useless young master was, he believed that everyone present knew very well, and that was Xiao Chun. Moreover, old Master Chung also pointed out that Chow Yuliang had been tolerating before. Therefore, pretending to be a playboy was not a big deal. It could only be said that he was tolerating. However, people like Xiao Chun were purely stupid and useless. Of course, old Master Chung did not agree directly. It was not that he looked down on Chow Yuliang. In fact, he really liked Chow Yuliang. In the Songning family, among the outstanding young talents who were not engaged, only Chow Yuliang was left. The others were basically engaged. Old Master Chung did not like those who were not engaged. However, due to the restraint of the first aristocratic family, it was impossible for him to agree to the Chow family so hastily at the banquet. Therefore, he maintained a non-committal attitude. Chow Yuliang, hurry up and thank your Grandpa Chung for his praise. Chow Yuliang immediately glanced at Chow Yuliang and reminded him. Thank you, Grandpa Chung, for thinking highly of me. In fact, I'm not that good. Chow Yuliang quickly stood up and picked up the wine glass in fear and trepidation. He raised it high and said, Grandpa Chung, as a junior, I'd like to toast you 3 times. Bottoms up first. Do as you please. This was a large glass for drinks. Even if it was beer, it would not feel good to drink it in one gulp. Moreover, the glass Chow Yuliang brought was white wine. However, he was a cultivator at the peak of stage 3 inner force, so he would not have a problem drinking it. Chow Yuliang drank 3 glasses in a row. His face was flushed and he said, I've been pursuing Minjing for many years. I hope Grandpa Chung can help me. Old Master Chung did not answer. He just picked up the glass in front of him and took a sip. In fact, in the eyes of these smart people, this action was considered as accepting Chow Yuliang's toast. It meant that he basically agreed with what Chow Yuliang said. Otherwise, old Master Chung would definitely not drink this glass of wine. Well, Chow Yuliang is a good kid. He can drink well too. Old Master Chung put down the glass and said so. Chow Yuliang was immediately relieved. Old Master Cheng's words actually meant that he had agreed to the possibility of marriage. Next, it was up to the Chow family to propose the marriage. Chow Yuliang was overjoyed. He bowed to old Master Chung and sat down. However, because he had drunk a lot of drinks before, and he drank 3 glasses of wine in a row, he suddenly felt a need to pee. So he got up and went to the toilet. Chow Yuliang understood old Master Cheng's meaning. So did Chung Minjing. Her heart tightened. She did not expect that her family would change her fiancé so soon. In the past, she dreamed of replacing Xiao Chun. But now, she did not want to do it. If it was possible, it would be better if it was Xiao Chun. However, she also knew that it was impossible for her and Xiao Chun to be together. Her family would not agree. But she also did not want to marry Chow Yuliang. She used her foot to kick Xiao Chun under the table. Xiao Chun was stunned and wondered who kicked him. Could it be Jean Bebe? However, when he turned around, He saw Cheng Minjing glaring at him from a seat away. This made Xiao Chen very confused. How did I offend this missy? Why is she looking at me like that? However, Cheng Minjing withdrew her gaze quickly. She took out her phone and started to play with it, which made Xiao Chen more confused. However, Xiao Chen felt the phone in his pocket vibrate slightly. Xiao Chen took it out and received a message from the missy. Hey, I don't want to marry Qiao Yuliang. Then what should we do? Why don't you stand up and refuse him? Xiao Chen asked. Actually, Xiao Chen felt very uncomfortable in his heart just now. It was as if someone had snatched away something that belonged to him. However, he only felt uncomfortable. He wasn't nervous. Xiao Chen could kill a fool like Qiao Yuliang at any time. The main reason was that the person behind Qiao Yuliang would show up. Besides, Qiao Yuliang often gave him money, so Xiao Chen kept him alive until now. Because it's all your fault. I've decided to let you solve it for me, said Cheng Minjing. What does it have to do with me? Xiao Chen was a little surprised. You failed to live up to expectations, and the engagement was broken off. Otherwise, how could Qiao Yuliang have the chance to propose? Said Cheng Minjing. Okay, I'll think of a way. Xiao Chen was a little speechless, but since it was the missy's request, he also stood up and walked in the direction of the door. In the past, as the fiancé of the missy, Xiao Chen did not bear the responsibility of a fiancé for a day. Of course, he did not enjoy the treatment of a fiancé. However, generally the responsibility came first, and then the treatment. If the other party didn't like you, what treatment would they give you? Therefore, although Xiao Chen was sure that Qiao Yuliang wouldn't be able to stir up trouble, he still planned to destroy it to make the missy feel at ease. Otherwise, she would have trouble sleeping and eating when she went home. Xiao Chen also went to the bathroom. Qiao Yuliang was peeing inside, but when he finished, before he could turn around, Xiao Chen cut the back of his neck with his palm. With Xiao Chen's current strength, which was equivalent to the strength of a stage 6 inner force martial artist, it was easy to deal with Qiao Yuliang, who was at the peak of stage 3 inner force. Qiao Yuliang fainted without saying a word. Xiao Chen directly took off his clothes and put them on himself. Qiao Yuliang's figure was similar to his. Although there was some difference, the clothes they wore were not too different, because they were both XXL. After doing all this, Xiao Chen took Qiao Yuliang to the single toilet room, closed the door, and then used Yuan Qi to control the lock inside from the outside to lock the door. Then he walked back to the banquet hall. At the door of the banquet hall, he directly used the ability of a stage 5 refinement stage cultivator to transform his appearance into Qiao Yuliang's. Of course, Xiao Chen didn't speak directly. Instead, he walked back to his seat and sat down quietly. Everyone, please be quiet. Old Master Cheng has something important to announce to everyone. At this time, the voice of the MC sounded again. When the guests heard that Old Master Cheng was going to speak, they immediately quieted down. Old Master Cheng was the well-deserved host here. Dear guests and friends of the Cheng family, first of all, thank you very much for coming here to attend my little granddaughter Minjing's birthday party. On behalf of the Cheng family, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to you. Just now, Mr. Chao of the Chao family proposed to the Cheng family. I will consider this matter, but on this beautiful night, I have a more important thing to announce to everyone. That is, on behalf of the Cheng family, I formally propose to the Xiao family, Old Master Cheng said in a loud voice. However, the words of Old Master Cheng made everyone present a little dumbfounded and confused. On behalf of the Cheng family, propose to the Xiao family? Didn't the Cheng family and the Xiao family just cancel the engagement not long ago? Why did they start to propose again? What did this mean? Could it be that they want to reconcile? In fact, Chao Lian's expression changed. He also thought so. As for the word propose, he didn't think much about it. His previous thinking made him think that Old Master Cheng was talking about the matter between Cheng Minjing and Xiao Chen. At this time, even Cheng Minjing's expression was a little strange. However, she didn't know why. In her heart, she didn't have the previous resistance. Instead, she seemed to be relieved. My grandson Cheng Mingxiang has been in love with Xiao Xiao from the Xiao family for a long time. I have talked about this with Old Master Xiao and Xiao Yuanshan before, So I plan to announce this news tonight. Do you think that they are a good match? Seeing the expressions of the guests below, Old Master Cheng knew that they had misunderstood, so he added with a smile. After hearing this, everyone was relieved, including Chao Lian. However, Cheng Minjing's expression was a little ugly. For a moment, she even thought that Xiao Chen's efforts were effective. Although she didn't know how Xiao Chen convinced her grandfather, she actually believed that it was Xiao Chen who did it. Because Xiao Chen promised to help her destroy it, in Cheng Minjing's opinion, he would definitely do it. But now, Cheng Minjing couldn't help but feel a little disappointed. It turned out that she had thought too much. Indeed, no matter how powerful Xiao Chen was, he couldn't influence her grandfather's thinking. I don't think they are a good match at all. Chao Yuliang, who was not far away, suddenly stood up with a whoosh and shouted loudly at this moment. His voice was so loud that everyone quickly quieted down. They looked strangely at Chao Yuliang, who suddenly jumped out to oppose. Xiao Chen finally found a good entry point to kill two birds with one stone. To be honest, Xiao Chen didn't approve of letting Xiao Xiao marry Cheng Mingxiang. So he must definitely find a chance to destroy it. And now was a good opportunity. Old Master Cheng was stunned. He didn't expect that the person who opposed wasn't from the Xiao family, but Chao Yuliang from the Chao family. What does this mean? What does it have to do with me? However, Old Master Cheng still asked, Chao Yuliang, what do you think? Why do you say that they are not a good match? Old C***nt, are you muddle-headed? With Cheng Mingxiang's stupid look, how can he be a match for the beautiful Xiao Xiao? I don't think so. Xiao Chen imitated Chao Yuliang's voice and said, What? Old Master Cheng looked at Chao Yuliang in astonishment. What did he scold me for? Old C***nt? Is he crazy? Do you know why I don't agree? Because I've liked Xiao Xiao for a long time. Xiao Chen continued. I plan to marry Cheng Minjing first, and then marry Xiao Xiao as a concubine. Anyway, the Xiao family is on the decline, so I'll screw them twice more. First I'll kill Xiao Chen, and then I'll destroy the Xiao family. Xiao Xiao is considered an ordinary woman, so she should be my concubine. Cheng Mingxiang, you little B*****. How dare you steal a woman from your brother-in-law? Do you know that after I marry into the Cheng family, I'll have the final say in the 3 generations? Not only will I swallow the Cheng family, but I'll also swallow the Xiao family. You. Old Master Cheng was fuming with anger. Chao Yuliang, what nonsense are you talking about? Are you drunk? Chao Yuliang was also shocked. He didn't expect that Chao Yuliang could say such disgraceful words. He was digging his own grave. Chapter 299. Xiao Chen glared at him and cursed with his hands on his waist. I did drink a little too much, but what I said was what I dared not say normally. I just can't accept it. You old B**** are blind. Why did you betroth Cheng Minjing to Xiao Chen, but not to me? Cheng Mingxiang's face was very gloomy. He also looked at Chao Yuliang in disbelief. How dare this guy say such a thing? He was going against the heavens. Chao Yuliang, get out of here. Go wash my face and sober up. You are drunk. Chao Yuliang pointed at Chao Yuliang and shouted angrily. I can wash my face, but what I said was from the bottom of my heart. Xiao Chen swung his sleeves and walked out of the banquet hall quickly. All of a sudden, the atmosphere in the banquet hall became extremely awkward. Old Master Cheng was so angry that he was trembling. He glared at Chao Yuliang fiercely. He didn't believe that Chao Yuliang was talking nonsense. He guessed that he had drunk too much and was telling the truth. In that case, he really had to reconsider his relationship with the Chao family. He didn't want to find such an ambitious person. However, because of Chao Yuliang's interference, the marriage proposal with the Xiao family became unsettled, and he didn't have the mood to continue with it. Xiao Chen went to the washroom quickly. He opened the door and changed Chao Yuliang's clothes. Then, he put him by the sink, turned on the cold water, and splashed it on his head. Chao Yuliang would probably wake up soon. After doing all this, Xiao Chen returned to the banquet hall quietly and sat in his seat. Jean Bebe looked at Xiao Chen. Suddenly, she lowered her head and looked at Xiao Chen's shoes. Then she grinned at Xiao Chen and said, You are so awesome, cousin-in-law. Xiao Chun was slightly taken aback. However, through Jean Beibei's expression, Xiao Chun knew that Jean Beibei had discovered the problem. Previously, he didn't change shoes with Chao Yuliang because the size of the shoes was different, but the color was similar. Xiao Chun was standing behind the table just now, so very few people would notice his shoes, except for those who were close to him. However, those who were close to them might not have noticed it. Little did they know that Jean Beibei's observation skills were so strong that she discovered the problem immediately. Xiao Chun smiled faintly and didn't deny it, but Cheng Minjing didn't notice. When she saw Xiao Chun coming back, she immediately said, "Hey, where did you go just now? Did you see Chao Yuliang go crazy just now?" "No. I saw him angrily running to the bathroom to wash his hair," Xiao Chun said. "Oh," Cheng Minjing shrugged and said, "Then it's fine. You don't have to think of ways to destroy it. He has no chance." "Okay." Xiao Chun nodded. At this point, the atmosphere of the banquet had been completely destroyed by Chao Yuliang. There was really no need to continue. Old Master Chung snorted coldly and stood up to leave. He was too ashamed to stay here any longer. Not long after, Chao Yuliang came back with his wet hedgehog hair. However, as soon as he entered the banquet hall, he found that many people were looking at him strangely. This made Chao Yuliang a little puzzled. "I just washed my hair. Is it necessary?" In fact, he was also quite puzzled. Why did I wash my hair after going to the bathroom? And I seem to have fallen asleep? But thinking about it, I guess I just drank 3 glasses of wine and got a little drunk. That's why I fainted. "Chao Yuliang, you come here." Chao Yuliang immediately glared at Chao Yuliang, who came in and said angrily. At this moment, old Master Chung was gone. He didn't care anymore. He was ready to teach Chao Yuliang a harsh lesson. "What are you doing?" Chao Yuliang was somewhat inexplicable, but he still walked over as he was told. "Pa!" Chao Yuliang immediately slapped Chao Yuliang's face directly. "Dad, what are you doing?" Chao Yuliang was stunned by the slap. He was at a loss of what to do. "The nonsense you said just now has ruined all the good things that you and Cheng Minjing had to do. You immediately go home and reflect on yourself. I'll see if I can help you work harder." Chao Yuliang immediately saw that Chao Yuliang didn't know what was going on. He was even angrier. He didn't even want to say more. "Dad, what's wrong with me? What nonsense did I say?" Chao Yuliang looked inexplicable. "I didn't say anything. I just went to the washroom." "You didn't say anything? You must have said a lot, right?" Chao Yuliang was furious. "What did I say? Go back and think about it yourself. Get lost. Get lost now." Although Chao Yuliang didn't know what was going on, he still didn't dare to disobey his father's words. He turned around and walked to the door. When he was halfway there, he suddenly thought of something. He waved to Chen Jinping and signaled him to come out. Chen Jinping was also puzzled. Why did Chao Yuliang jump out like a madman just now to embarrass himself? He saw Chao Yuliang summon and quickly followed. "Jinping, what happened just now?" "What happened when I went to the washroom?" Chao Yuliang asked as he walked. "Went to the washroom? What happened?" Chen Jinping was stunned. He looked at Chao Yuliang strangely. "Brother Liang, you were crazy just now. Don't you know?" "I was crazy. What did I go crazy?" Chao Yuliang's heart skipped a beat. He thought, oh no. Previously his father, Chao Yuliang, said that he was crazy and talking nonsense. He didn't quite believe it, but since Chen Jinping said so, then something must have happened that he didn't know. "Brother Liang, you don't know?" Chen Jinping was puzzled. "You talked nonsense at the banquet before. Don't you remember?" "What do I remember? I didn't spout nonsense at all." "Jinping, tell me in detail what's going on," Chao Yuliang asked. "Ah, Brother Liang, you really don't know." Chen Jinping repeated Chao Yuliang's words to him before he jumped out and said it. After Chao Yuliang heard it, his face suddenly darkened. He almost fell to the ground. "Is this me? Why do I feel like a big dumb asterisk SS? I like Xiao Xiao. When did I like Xiao Xiao? Even if I like her, I don't dare to fight with Cheng Mengqiang for a woman. It's true that I want to kill Xiao Chen, but I never thought of annexing the Xiao family. It's even more impossible to annex the Cheng family. How can I say such suicidal words?" Chao Yuliang was puzzled. This is obviously not my character. Even if I drank too much, I definitely don't dare to say such words. However, Chen Jinping wouldn't lie. After taking a deep breath, Chao Yuliang stabilized his body that was about to fall and asked, Jinping, you didn't lie to me? Did I really say that before? Brother Liang, why would I lie to you about this? I estimate that it will spread throughout the upper class of Songning City tomorrow, Chen Jinping said with a bitter face. Brother Liang, you're happy for a moment, but you and Cheng Minjing are basically finished. Jinping, whether you believe it or not, I seemed to be unconscious for a while before. I didn't say that at all, and it's impossible for me to say that. It's true that I want to kill Xiao Chen, but will I be stupid enough to say it out loud? Isn't that sick? Chao Yuliang shook his head and continued. Furthermore, don't you know whether I like Xiao Xiao or not? When did I pay attention to Xiao Xiao? That's true. Chen Jinping nodded after listening. In fact, he also felt that it was quite suspenseful. Chao Yuliang's behavior was completely different from his usual character of planning before taking action. In the past, it was premeditated to assassinate Xiao Chen. In the face of Xiao Chen's humiliation and blackmail, he could endure it. Why not today? By the way, Brother Liang, are you bewitched? Bewitched? Chao Yuliang was stunned. You are the one who is bewitched. Yes. Chen Jinping nodded in agreement and said, Brother Liang, do you remember when Xiao Chen hadn't transferred to another school yet? One morning when we were in school together, I helped Xiao Chen beat you up? Ugh, there is indeed such a thing. After listening, Chao Yuliang frowned and pinched his chin. So, you were bewitched at that time? Yes. Chen Jinping nodded and said, At that time, I swore to Brother Liang that it wasn't my intention to hit you. I didn't seem to be myself at that moment. Later, I deliberately went to the pharmacist in the Warriors Market to take a look at me. He said that I had dissociative identity disorder. I think, Brother Liang, you are probably the same. At that time, your personality was dissociative identity disorder. So you did some incredible things. After that, you don't know anything. Dissociative identity disorder? Chao Yuliang nodded. It sounded like it was the case. Could it be that you infected me? How is that possible? Dissociative identity disorder is not contagious. The pharmacist who diagnosed me said that the pressure of us martial artists practicing martial arts is relatively high. Sometimes, if we can't release it, we will have this phenomenon of dissociative identity disorder. Chen Jinping explained. In that case, I am really like that. Chao Yuliang nodded after listening. He had been secretly practicing martial arts and hiding his strength. Speaking of it, the pressure was very high. During this period, because Xiao Chen didn't die, the one behind him was also pressing him. Chao Yuliang estimated that his subconscious had already developed resentment towards him. So he dared to do such a thing today. It was probably the resentment and repression in the subconscious that caused the mischief. Thinking of this, Chao Yuliang sighed secretly. I'm really King unlucky. I have dissociative identity disorder at the critical moment. Originally, I could successfully promote to be Cheng Minjing's fiancé with this opportunity. But now, everything had to start from scratch. Yes, Brother Liang, what should I do? Why don't you go to the hospital and give a certificate to old Master Cheng? Otherwise, we will really be in big trouble this time. Chen Jinping said. I can only think of a way slowly. The certificate must be given, but whether old Master Cheng believes it or not, I don't know. Chao Yuliang wasn't worried about old Master Cheng now, but someone else. Brother Liang, where are we going now? Asked Chen Jinping. Nothing. Just walk with me and relax. Chao Yuliang was very sullen. Everything was so perfect, but it turned out to be like this in the blink of an eye. Chapter 300. Soon after old Master Cheng left, the MC announced the end of the banquet. Everyone was free to leave. After all, there was no need to continue the banquet since it had come to this. Cheng Minjing and Jean Beibei had to stay to deal with the aftermath. They couldn't leave for the time being. However, Chen Jinping left with Chao Yuliang, and Shen Jinghao hadn't come back yet. Therefore, Cheng Minjing asked Xiao Chen to send Shen Jingxian home. Shen Jinghao sent LV Fengjin and Alchemist's son home, and then came back. It was a long trip. The Chung family was quite far away from the warriors' market. Shen Jinghao didn't know that there would be an accident during the banquet. His idea was to go back directly to pick up Shen Jingxian. It was not good for him to attend the banquet in the middle of the way. He might as well not attend it. Anyway, he could choose not to attend such a banquet. Although Shen Jingxian and Cheng Minjing were best friends, the two families didn't have much cooperation in fact. However, when Shen Jinghao arrived at the Cheng family, the birthday banquet had already ended. He asked around and learned that Cheng Minjing had asked Xiao Chen to send Shen Jingxian home. Shen Jinghao chatted with Cheng Zhongming and Cheng Zhongfan for a while, and then drove back. Xiao Chen drove Shen Jingxian to the Shen family's villa. "Was it you today?" Shen Jingxian asked. "How do you know?" Xiao Chen asked back. "I knew it was you at first glance," Shen Jingxian said. "How can I not recognize you? You don't look like me." Xiao Chen was slightly surprised. Since Jin Beibei and Shen Jingxian had noticed it, would the others have noticed it too? "Actually, it's quite similar. It's just that you were sitting next to Chen Jinpeng, where Chao Yuliang used to be, and I was sitting next to Chen Jinpeng. I was too close to you," Shen Jingxian said. "I felt that something was wrong at the time. No matter how I looked at it, it was you." "Well, you recognized me," Xiao Chen said. "But I'm very happy. It seems that you pay attention to me." Tell me, why did you destroy it?" Shen Jingxian glared at Xiao Chen. "Now, it's impossible for Chao Yuliang and Minjing to be together. In fact, you also like Cheng Minjing? Isn't she my heroine, Mista? Who else can I help if not her? Besides, she said that she doesn't want to marry Chao Yuliang. Can I just sit back and do nothing?" Xiao Chen shrugged and said. He did not give a direct answer, because it was not an easy question to answer. His relationship with Cheng Minjing was too subtle. "Then why didn't you help me? I don't want to marry Chen Jinpeng. You must like her." "You like her," Shen Jingxian said. "Don't think that I won't know it when you change the topic." Xiao Chen did not know what to say. Last time, Shen Jingxian said that he liked Jin Beibei, and this time, he said that he liked Cheng Minjing. Forget it. Anyway, I'm not related to you. You are Cheng Minjing's fiancé, and I am Chen Jinping's fiancé. Shen Jingxian sighed softly with melancholy in her eyes. There were some things that she really did not know how to deal with. Once her relationship with Xiao Chen was made public, what would be waiting for her? Falling out with her best friend? Opposition from her family? Revenge from the Chen family? Shen Jingxian did not dare to think about it. The car went all the way to the Shen family's villa. However, Shen Jingxian found that the lights in the villa were not on. It seemed that her father was not back yet. Shen Jinghao would not let go of such a good opportunity to send LV Fangzhen, an alchemist's son, back. "Is there no one at home? Can I go in and sit for a while?" Xiao Chen looked at the pitch-black villa and said to Shen Jingxian. "No. If my father stops you at home, you are dead meat." Shen Jingxian quickly shook her head and refused. She would not do something like playing with fire. "Then here?" Xiao Chen unfastened the car's seatbelt and pulled Shen Jingshuan's hand. "What are you doing?" Shen Jingshuan's body stiffened. Her breathing became a little rapid when Xiao Chen held her hand. Xiao Chen pressed the buckle of Shen Jingshuan's seatbelt and pulled her into his arms. Shen Jingxian snorted softly. Her hand, which was held by Xiao Chen, was suddenly wet with sweat. She said nervously, "No." However, before she finished speaking, Shen Jingxian felt that her mouth was blocked. She widened her eyes and looked at Xiao Chen in disbelief. She did not expect Xiao Chen to be so bold. He dared to kiss her in front of her house. Shen Jingxian wanted to refuse, but she did not want to refuse. This was a very complicated and contradictory mentality. Fortunately, Xiao Chen did not do anything excessive except kissing her. This made Shen Jingxian relax slightly. In fact, Shen Jingxian had already accepted kissing. In the sea and in the closet of Cheng Minjing's house. Although it was unintentional, Shen Jingxian did not reject it in her heart. Not only did she not reject it, but she also faintly liked it. In fact, Shen Jinghao and Xiao Chen were just after each other. He drove back to the community. From a distance he saw a car parked at the door of his villa. But the villa was still dark. He couldn't help but be a little surprised. The Shen family's residence was not the kind of independent manor, but a house in the community. Only Shen Jinghao and Shen Jingxian lived there, so there was no need to build a separate house. Therefore, there were a lot of cars coming and going. But Xiao Chen did not care about the cars around. His car was covered with a dark film. If the window was not opened, no one could see the situation inside. Xiao Chen did not care. Shen Jinghao thought that it was Xiao Chen's car, and that Shen Jingxian had just come back. However, when he drove closer, he found that no one got out of the car. Shen Jinghao suddenly became vigilant. Could it be that someone was trying to harm Xiao Chen and Shen Jingxian? He quickly parked the car at the door of another villa, wanting to observe the situation carefully. It didn't take long for Shen Jinghao to see the door of the car open. Shen Jingxian got out of the car. Under the street light, he could clearly see that Shen Jingshuan's hair and clothes were a little messy, and her face was also flushed. Shen Jinghao was an experienced person. Naturally, he could see that his daughter seemed to have done something adult at a glance. Could it be that Chen Jinping sent her back? However, didn't Jingxian say that she didn't like Chen Jinping? What was going on today? However, after confirming that his daughter was fine, Shen Jinghao did not go over immediately. How embarrassing would it be if he were to see this kind of young adultery? So, Shen Jinghao waited for his daughter to enter the villa, and the car at the door left. Then, Shen Jinghao started the car again and drove to the villa. Hearing the sound of the car at the door of the villa, and the figure who opened the door, Shen Jingxian was shocked. She secretly thought that she was lucky. Fortunately, she pushed Xiao Chen away in time, and didn't continue to sink. Otherwise, if she was caught by her father, how would she want to die? Dad, you're back? Shen Jingxian adjusted her emotions, turned around, and asked as if nothing had happened. Anne, I went to the Chung family to pick you up. I heard that you had already come back. Did you just arrive? Shen Jinghao asked calmly. No, I arrived for a while. Shen Jingxian said. Why didn't you call? I was waiting for you for a while. It's nothing. Was it Chen Jinping who sent you back? Shen Jinghao asked. Oh no, Chen Jinping went to send Chao Yuliang. Today, Chao Yuliang made a fool of himself at the banquet. Chen Jinping went to comfort him. So Minjing asked Xiao Chen to send me back. Shen Jingxian said naturally. Xiao Chen. Shen Jinghao was stunned. Before, he heard Cheng Minjing say that Xiao Chen sent Shen Jingxian back. He still didn't believe it. After all, in his opinion, it was impossible for his daughter to have anything with Xiao Chen. But now, even his daughter said that Xiao Chen sent her back. What was going on? What happened to Chao Yuliang? It's like this. Shen Jingxian told her father about Chao Yuliang's behavior today. She didn't realize that Shen Jinghao had already suspected her. Shen Jinghao nodded, but there was a storm in his heart. In other words, Chen Jinping really sent Chao Yuliang. After all, the news about Chao Yuliang would spread tomorrow. So the previous car was driven by Xiao Chen? What's with my daughter's expression just now? Shen Jinghao was also a martial artist. He didn't think that his eyesight was bad enough to make a mistake. Chao Yuliang doesn't seem to be such a brainless person. After drinking 3 glasses of wine, he lost his sense of direction? Shen Jinghao also felt incredible about Chao Yuliang's behavior. Right, that Land Rover belongs to Xiao Chen? Where did he get the car? Didn't someone look for him to race last weekend? The other party gave it to him, Shen Jingxian said. Xiao Chen's driving skills are really good. He won several races in a row. In fact, Shen Jingshuan's words were to let her father subtly accept Xiao Chen's change. Otherwise, Xiao Chen's impression in her father's mind would be that of a prodigal waste. However, she didn't know that Shen Jinghao already suspected that there was something between her and Xiao Chen. In the end, Shen Jingxian said a good word for Xiao Chen, which made Shen Jinghao even more suspicious. Didn't he not know how to race before? How did he know how to race? Shen Jinghao didn't ask directly. After all, there was no evidence. What he saw just now could be explained that Shen Jingxian drank at the banquet, then slept in the car, and then got off. After all, she fell asleep. Xiao Chen woke her up, and then she needed time to wake up. If Shen Jinghao asked directly, and if there was really no such thing, wouldn't it be framing his daughter? So he planned to wait and see. Yeah, I didn't know before. When Shen Jingxian talked about Xiao Chun, she was a little excited. Dad, do you know? Xiao Chun actually knows how to cook, and he cooks very well. He is better than the chefs in our Shen family. Menjing is in luck. Really? Shen Jinghao didn't think much of it. A man can only settle down by practicing martial arts. What's the big deal about cooking? However, Shen Jinghao still asked calmly. You seem to be quite familiar with him. Chapter 301. Ah, it's okay. Shen Jingxian was shocked. She suddenly realized that she had said too much. She quickly said, Let's not talk about this. Dad, I'm going to take a shower and rest. Okay. Shen Jinghao nodded. He frowned as he watched his daughter go upstairs. Although he didn't believe that his daughter would like Xiao Chun, if she really liked him, then Shen Jinghao would really be in a difficult position. Although he didn't want to interfere with Shen Jingshuan's marriage, Shen Jingxian and Xiao Chun being together wouldn't bring the slightest bit of help to the Shen family. It was even more impossible for it to be of any use to Jing Mao's promotion. Chao Yuliang went home and lay on the bed. He thought about what happened today, but no matter how he tried, he couldn't remember saying such rebellious words. This was simply courting death. As he was thinking, the phone rang. Chao Yuliang picked up the phone. When he saw the caller ID, his heart immediately jumped. He took a deep breath, then carefully and respectfully picked up the phone. Boss, you mother asterisk her. You are my boss. There was an angry voice on the other side of the phone. Chao Yuliang, you're good, aren't you? Do you think that you are very bad asterisk SS, just because you are at the peak of the 3rd stage of inner force? Are you a young talent now? You don't put me in your eyes now. I don't dare. Chao Yuliang wanted to cry but had no tears. Don't dare? I think you are very daring. It's not that you don't dare, it's that you are too daring. The boss was so angry that he scolded. CKU. You like Xiao Xiao? You want to be a concubine? You really dare to say it? You want to teach me a lesson? You want to be the 3rd generation of the Chung family? Are you going against the natural order? Alright, Chao Yuliang, I can't control a god like you, but you better remember this sentence for me. In Ozuanity, why do you try? Wait. Boss, young Master Chung, I was wrong, but that really wasn't my intention. Think about it. I wouldn't dare to go against you even if I had 10 guts. Am I looking for death? Chao Yuliang was shocked. He was going to be abandoned. Others didn't know, but he knew the horror behind the scenes. It turned out that Chao Yuliang's boss was actually Chung Mingqiang from the Chung family. No wonder he was so angry and was about to explode. Chao Yuliang was his underling, a pawn to the execution of the plan. How dare he snatch the boss's woman? Not only that, but he also wanted to live with the Chung family? Don't tell me that you weren't the one who jumped out to show off at the banquet? Chung Mingqiang asked coldly. Young Master Chung, listen to my explanation. Chao Yuliang said, think about it. It's impossible for me to like Xiao Xiao. I have never interacted with her, and I have only seen her a few times. Moreover, she used to be Xiao Chen's sister. Xiao Chun and I are sworn enemies. Why would I like his sister? I don't get any benefits by doing this. I lost you, a big backer, and I became enemies with the Xiao family and the Chung family. How sick am I? What do you mean? Chung Mingqiang wasn't stupid. He was really angry before, but now he thought about it carefully. It seemed that what Chao Yuliang said was not unreasonable, because Chao Yuliang really didn't get any benefits by doing this. Unless Chao Yuliang had the ability to turn against Chung Mingqiang. But now it seemed that if he really had this ability, he wouldn't have to pretend to be a coward and beg for mercy on the phone at this moment. So it showed that Chao Yuliang didn't want to turn against him. Young Master Chung, it's not just me. Chen Jinping also had such a strange situation before. He had already relied on me, but in school, Xiao Chen asked him to help beat me up. As a result, Chen Jinping beat me up. Chao Yuliang told Chung Mingqiang about Chen Jinping's incident as an example. Later, he went to find a pharmacist to check his body. He said that he was under too much pressure from practicing martial arts. He had some split personality disorder, so I feel that I might have it too. Chung Mingqiang was a little speechless. What kind of bullsh*t reason is this? However, Chao Yuliang said it so confidently that he really believed it a little. You mean that you were schizophrenic before, and what you said was nonsense? It wasn't your own idea? Yes, yes, yes. That's it. Chao Yuliang quickly replied. Young Master Chung, you know me. All these years, when did I not do things according to your wishes? From the beginning, I targeted Xiao Chun, became enemies with him, and stepped on him. Later, I cooperated with you to act, and made Xiao Chun fall off the cliff. I did my best. Okay, I got it. I will remember this first. It depends on your performance in the future. After Cheng Mingqiang listened, he said indifferently, and hung up the phone. He knew that although Chao Yuliang's last words showed loyalty, it was actually a threat to him. If the things he had done were to be publicized, although Chao Yuliang wouldn't have it easy, Cheng Mingqiang wouldn't have it easy either. After all, the assassination of Xiao Chun could be a big or small matter. Phew! Chao Yuliang breathed a sigh of relief, and threw the phone on the bed. He knew that he had finally passed the test. He took off his sweaty shirt and walked into the bathroom, ready to take a cold shower. However, if Cheng Mingqiang passed this test, what about me and Cheng Minjing? Moreover, I publicly said at the banquet that I wanted to kill Xiao Chun. In the future, if I go out with Xiao Chun, will Xiao Chun still listen to me? However, I can only take one step at a time. Chao Yuliang felt that he was extremely sullen. Cheng Mingqiang hung up the phone, and his expression returned to its usual gloomy state. There was no longer the anger from before. He put the phone aside and said to the middle-aged man sitting opposite him, Father, this matter shouldn't be Chao Yuliang's original intention. He also explained that he had no reason to do so. And I heard your conversation. It seems like this is the case. Chao Yuliang has no reason to betray us. Cheng Zhongfan nodded and said, I just investigated it. Chao Yuliang and the Li family are only in a cooperative relationship. Li Shanying of the Li family is blind. It is unlikely that he will give any promise and help to Chao Yuliang. Li Shanying can't represent the Li family. Moreover, I don't think that even if Chao Yuliang got an illusory promise from Li Shanying, he would dare to fall out with our Cheng family. Indeed, so I believed his words later. Cheng Mingqiang said, This guy really can't do anything right, but he's good at spoiling things. The main problem now is how to deal with the aftermath. Cheng Zhongfan said. Chao Yuliang publicly said that he would harm Xiao Chun at the banquet. This is not a big deal. The main problem is that the marriage proposal with the Xiao family was interrupted. It doesn't matter if it's harmful to Xiao Chun. He and Xiao Chun used to be enemies. No one will think too much about it. As for the matter between me and Xiao Xiao, we can only find another opportunity. I'm afraid that Qi Zhigao will take it first. Cheng Mingqiang said. You don't have to worry about this first. I will find another opportunity for you. Now your grandfather is angry. This matter can only be delayed. Cheng Zhongfan said. Stubborn old man. Cheng Mingqiang curled his lips. Ignorant and arrogant. He wants to save face. If he could get involved, the Xiao family would have long been in the Cheng family's pocket. Shut up. Don't talk nonsense. Cheng Zhongfang glared at Cheng Mingqiang. No matter what, he is your grandfather. Hey, I'm so excellent. But he turned a blind eye to me before and always liked little uncle. Cheng Mingqiang was very resentful about this. Well, don't mention this again. Cheng Zhongfan said. Come with me to apologize to your grandfather later. He already knows about Lu Fengzhen's matter. I was impulsive in this matter, Cheng Mingqiang said. When I saw Xiao Chun before, I saw that this guy didn't die again and again, just like a cockroach. I was angry and humiliated him a few times. I didn't expect that old man to be so powerful and still stand by Xiao Chun's side. I thought they were together. Well, this matter is over. I have told them about this matter. They said that if Lu Fengzhen really put pressure on our Cheng family through the warriors' market, they will not sit by and ignore it. They will help us secretly, Cheng Zhongfan said. The urgent task is to kill Xiao Chun and annex the Xiao family. This is a death order from them. It stands to reason that after I kill Xiao Chun and marry Xiao Xiao, the Xiao family will have no sons. In the future, the Cheng family will be in the pocket. This is good for our Cheng family. What does it have to do with those people? Do they have enmity with the Xiao family? Cheng Mingqiang has been a little puzzled about the intention of the force behind his father. Don't ask what you shouldn't ask. What is the identity of those people? What is their strength? Why would they explain this to us? Cheng Zhongfan said. We just need to do a good job to satisfy them. After we annex the Xiao family, they will find a way to make us the same as the Shen family and the Li family. I understand. During this period, my main task is to find a way to kill Xiao Chen. Let Xiao Yuliang make up for his mistake. Cheng Mingqiang nodded and responded. He didn't know who the force behind his father was, but his father wouldn't lie to him. To be able to make the Cheng family the same as the Shen family and the Li family, the force must have unimaginable power. By the way, Dad, will there be any changes in the cooperation between the Xiao family and the Sun family? The Sun family, if I'm not wrong, they should have the same idea as us. It's just that they want to use the Xiao family to rebuild the Sun family, and we want to annex the Xiao family, Cheng Zhongfan said. Then, if the Xiao family is annexed by the Sun family, Cheng Mingqiang couldn't help but worry. Hey, annexed? That's even better. We will annex the Sun family. Although we can annex the Xiao family, it won't look good after all. Cheng Zhongfan sneered. If the Xiao family is annexed by the Sun family, and you, as the son-in-law of the Xiao family, take revenge for the Xiao family and annex the Sun family, others will say that you are loyal. You're now standing on the moral high ground. Chapter 302. Wonderful. You're so thoughtful. Cheng Mingqiang couldn't help but give him a thumbs up. He was worried that he was too slow, but now it seemed that he should pretend that he didn't know anything and let the Sun family do whatever they wanted. When the Xiao family was swallowed up, he would stand up and kill the Sun family together. But Medicine Master Sun is not a pushover. Medicine Master Sun is a big shot in Songning, but he is nothing outside of Songning. The person behind me will definitely help, provided that we do it well, Cheng Zhongfan said. After the two finished their conspiracy, they went to old Master Cheng's room. No one knew what they said, but they succeeded in calming down old Master Cheng's anger. Xiao Chen returned to the villa, but Cheng Minjing and Jean Beibei didn't come back. Cheng Minjing sent a message saying that she wouldn't come back and would stay at the Cheng family for one night. Looking at the message, Xiao Chen was a little speechless. If he had known that they wouldn't come back, he would have asked Song Huawu to come. Didn't this girl want to investigate Yi Xiaoye? However, Xiao Chen and Yi Xiaoye were comrades who had gone through thick and thin together. It wouldn't be good for him to help Song Huawu investigate her. Song Huawu was also his savior. It was really a headache. Thinking of this, Xiao Chen decided to use the identity of White Fox to remind Yi Xiaoye. By the way, I forgot to tell you something. The Witch of Xishan is dead. Xiao Chen sent a private message to Yi Biya. The Witch of Xishan is dead? I know that the Warrior Guild has cancelled the mission for him. It is said that the Supernatural Investigation Bureau killed him, Yi Xiaoye replied. That's good, but I also participated. When I fought with him, a person from the Supernatural Investigation Bureau, named Song Huawu, helped me kill him, Xiao Chen said. Song Huawu. So it's her. Fortunately you met her. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been able to deal with old demon Xishan. Yi Xiaoye obviously knew Song Huawu. Yes, without her help, I would be in danger. By the way, Song Huawu hasn't left yet. She seems to be investigating something. Xiao Chen said. You didn't leave? In Songning City? Oh, it's nothing. Don't worry about her. Yi Xiaoye obviously didn't care much about Song Huawu. Okay. Since Yi Xiaoye didn't care, then Xiao Chen didn't have to worry about it. By the way, after a while, accompany me to a summit, Yi Xiaoye said. Are you free? I'm free. But where do you want to go? Where are you going? What summit? Xiao Chen's heart stirred. Could it be that this was what Song Huawu was concerned about? A small-scale summit competition between the demon sect and the righteous sections. The nearby demon sect martial artists and the righteous sect's martial artists can participate. Yi Xiaoye continued. In the past, the righteous sects basically had the advantage. After all, they have a lot of people, a large base, and many outstanding disciples. But this time, with me participating, my master hopes that I can suppress them. Then what am I going to do? Do nothing? Xiaochen asked. You go and help me. You are my partner. Yi Xiaoye said. Anyway, you are also a demonic cultivator. The righteous sects are our enemies. Ugh, okay. In fact, Xiaochen didn't have much sense of belonging to the battle between the righteous sects and the demon sect. He was neither a demonic cultivator nor a martial cultivator. He was a cultivator who drifted away from both. However, since Yi Xiaoye invited him, Xiaochen naturally wouldn't refuse. After all, the two of them were partners in the warrior guild. Naturally, he would help if he could. Moreover, this summit seemed to be safe, and it was in Songning City. This was fine. If it was outside of Songning City, it wouldn't be easy to tell Mississippi putting down the phone. Xiaochen plugged in the electric clay pot and began to boil today's medicinal herbs. After doing all this, Xiaochen went out of the room and planned to make something to eat. As a result, he saw Yi Xiaoye in the kitchen. Yi Xiaoye was playing with her phone. Obviously, she was talking to Xiaochen just now. When she saw Xiaochen coming over, she turned off the phone screen and asked with some doubts, "Where's your miss?" "It's her birthday today, so she won't be coming back to stay," Xiaochen said. "Oh, I was just about to make something to eat. Why don't you cook for me?" Yi Xiaoye felt that Xiaochen's cooking was better than hers. "I've bought all the ingredients." "Sure." Xiaochen didn't care. He walked over and took the kitchen knife from Yi Xiaoye's hand. He started to make some sounds and got busy. Yi Xiaoye stood at the side and said, "By the way, Xiaochen, if you can't be a martial cultivator, you can try demonic cultivator. Some people with the physique of a demonic cultivator are useless in the martial cultivator path." Demonic cultivator? Xiaochen was stunned. This Yi Xiaoye was trying to pull him into her group. Hence he said, "You're a demonic cultivator? Don't worry about me. Just tell me, do you want to have the strength to counterattack the Ms. Perfect and push down Cheng Minjing?" Yi Xiaoye asked. "I don't want to." Xiaochen thought about it and said, he was originally a cultivator. If he went to demonic cultivator, he might die from chi deviation. It was pretty good now. His strength and leveling speed were not bad. "What do you want?" Yi Xiaoye thought that Xiaochen would definitely say yes, but he said no. Yi Xiaoye stomped her feet in exasperation. She was very angry. "I say, Xiaochen, can you do it or not? Would you rather be a useless person for the rest of your life? Although the Xiao family isn't considered a righteous sect, if I become a demonic cultivator, wouldn't I never be able to return to the Xiao family?" Xiaochen said. "Who said that?" "Your mother." Yi Xiaoye was very angry, but she hesitated halfway through her words. Xiaochen was stunned. "Why are you scolding me? It's nothing. I was just pissed off by you. You've already been kicked out of the Xiao family. Do you think you can go back now?" Yi Xiaoye said angrily. "You're nothing now. You don't have any strength, so you're on your own." Oh, that's fine. Then give me a demonic gate's heart sutra. I will study it," Xiaochen said. "Why should I give it to you? My heart sutra is the top secret of the sect. It can't be spread," Yi Xiaoye said. "Then why are you telling me so much?" Xiaochen was speechless. It was all in vain. "However, if you swear not to spread it, I can secretly show it to you," Yi Xiaoye said again. "Okay, I promise I won't spread it." Xiaochen nodded. "Then come with me to get it later," Yi Xiaoye said. Xiaochen was a little puzzled. When did Yi Xiaoye become so enthusiastic? She even gave him the heart sutra of the demonic gate? Is there any conspiracy? Has she guessed that I am her partner? She wants me to improve my strength before attending some summit? I can't do that. I haven't exposed myself. All right. Xiaochen nodded without batting an eyelid. He could study the moves of the demonic gate or something. It would be bad if he gave himself away during the summit. Very soon, a few fragrant and delicious dishes were served on the table. At the banquet, he had only eaten some food with Jean Bebe at the beginning. Later on, when he impersonated Chao Yuliang, he did not have time to eat. Xiaochen was hungry. He ate Shen Jingxian for a while in the evening, but it was not enough to satisfy his hunger. "I find that your cooking is really good." "Huh. Today's dishes are also delicious. I think it's because of your cooking skills. Is it because my cooking skills are not good enough? So the good food I bought is also wasted? Yi Xiaoye felt that her guess was more and more reliable. Otherwise, why would the dishes made by Xiao Chun be delicious and hers not? She bought vegetables from the same farmer's market every day. If they were in different batches, would the ingredients be ready when Xiao Chun was cooking? That was not realistic. It's possible. If it's not delicious, will Cheng Minjing let me be her follower? Xiao Chun said with a smile. Are you addicted to being her follower? Isn't it just a little girl? Can't you live without her? Think about it. You have the strength of a demonic cultivator. You can find anything you want. Young madam, who doesn't have any strength is the worst. Yi Xiaoye stared at Xiao Chun. How should I put this? She was the one who took me in. Xiao Chun didn't know what he was thinking right now. He felt that it was very comfortable here. To be honest, other than letting him cook and be her chauffeur, the young miss didn't ask for anything else. This could be counted as a servant's work, but it could also be done by her fiancé. I think you are just enjoying it. You have no ambition. Yi Xiaoye said sarcastically. Xiao Chun could only smile bitterly. He didn't know why Yi Xiaoye always targeted him and young madam. Let's eat. I think it's okay. You just talk about me. Let's talk about you. Who are you exactly? Which demonic sect are you from? I am a demonic cultivator, but I can't tell you the specific sect. It's not good for you to know so much. If you can really cultivate and become a demonic cultivator, and your strength is high, I will help you apply to see if I can accept you as a disciple. Yi Xiaoye said. But don't think so much now. Well, what's your strength now? Xiao Chun was a little helpless. He asked Song Huawu, but she didn't tell him. Yi Xiaoye also didn't tell him. It seemed that Yi Xiaoye's sect seemed to be a bit mysterious. 5th level of internal strength, demonic cultivator. Yi Xiaoye said with some pride. She had just broken through to the 5th level of internal strength. Her cultivation speed was very fast. Whether it was a demonic cultivator or a martial cultivator, before the age of 18, they were all laying the foundation. Basically, they could have the strength of 2 or 3 levels of internal strength. If they could have the strength of 4 levels of internal strength, it was already quite good. After the age of 18, the talented and intelligent martial artists would have continuous breakthroughs and upgrade by taking the elevator. But for those with mediocre talent, they might be stuck at the 3rd or 4th level of internal strength. Of course, people like Xiao Chun, who didn't have any strength at the age of 18, were very rare in the big families. No matter how trash they were, they would still have about the 1st level of internal strength. 5th level, very powerful. When Xiao Chun said this, it was sincere. Not long ago, the 5th level of internal strength was the existence that he looked up to. But now, he was a cultivator at the 5th level of the refinement stage. His strength was equivalent to the martial artist at the 6th level of internal strength. By the way, do you have any martial arts techniques that demonic cultivators can use? I'd like to cultivate with you. Martial arts techniques? You are not even a beginner, and you are already thinking about martial arts techniques? Yi Xiaoye was speechless. Xiao Chun was too ambitious. Previously, he had said that he did not want to cultivate. In the end, the moment he started cultivating, he immediately wanted a martial technique. I'm just doing some research. Maybe I can't even cultivate demonic energy, so I'll just take it as a casual look. Xiao Chun said. The demonic energy in a demonic cultivator's body could actually be called internal strength, because demonic energy and internal strength were similar in nature. Only demonic cultivators would subdivide demonic energy into demonic energy, and the common term for demonic energy was internal strength. It's not that I can't let you do some research, but you are not strong enough. Don't use martial arts techniques recklessly. Yi Xiaoye reminded him solemnly. Your demonic essence can't keep up with your stamina. If you use the combat technique directly, it will consume all the stamina in your body. If you faint or something happens to you, don't come looking for me. I understand. I won't do anything reckless. Xiao Chun nodded and said. Then I'll give you this martial arts technique book. Yi Xiaoya gave the other book to Xiaochen. Thank you. I'll go back and do some research, Xiaochen said. When he returned to his room, Xiaochen's medicine was almost ready. So, Xiaochen planned to drink the medicine first, and then study the mental cultivation method and martial arts technique that Yi Xiaoya gave him. Before that, he had to ask the Elder Heaven Ancestor first. He did not dare to practice it recklessly. The new medicine was extremely bitter when it entered his mouth. When it flowed into his stomach, it was like a burning flame with endless energy. Xiaochen quickly began to practice the mental cultivation method, and then began to practice. After an hour, the medicine's power slowly dissipated. Xiaochen took out the spiritual jades and continued to practice. The night passed uneventfully. When Xiaochen opened his eyes again, the few pieces of spiritual jades in his hand had all turned into dust. Xiaochen's current strength had also reached the peak of the 5th layer of the qi refining stage. He was equivalent to a martial artist at the peak of qi refining stage 6. With his special ability, even if he faced a martial artist at qi refining stage 7, he would have the strength to fight. With the help of the spiritual jades and the new medicine, Xiaochen once again recovered his previous rocket-like speed. It seemed that medicine and spiritual jades were indispensable. But medicine was easy to find, spiritual jades were more difficult. Now, Xiaochen had used up all the spiritual jades in his hand. He didn't know if Lu Jinming could get more spiritual jades for him. Otherwise, his strength would once again stagnate at the peak of the 5th level of the qi refinement realm. Elder Heaven Ancestor, can I practice the mental cultivation method of a devil cultivator? Xiaochen asked. Don't practice the mental cultivation method, but you can practice the martial skills. Elder Heaven Ancestor said, the energy in your body is omnipotent. You can also use the martial skills that devil qi can use. Moreover, the martial skills of a devil cultivator are relatively simple. Before you can practice my martial skills, you can also practice the martial skills of a devil cultivator. Oh, it's really possible? Xiaochen didn't have much hope at first. After all, he was a cultivator, different from other martial artists. But he didn't expect that it could be used. So he quickly picked up the martial skill that Yi Xiaoya gave him and looked at it. Dark Flame Palm. This was the name of the martial skill that Yi Xiaoya gave to Xiaochen. As the name suggested, this was a palm technique. Correspondingly, the first style could be practiced by a level 1 inner force or devil qi. The second style could be practiced by a level 2 inner force cultivator, and so on. The power of each style would gradually increase, but the physical strength consumed would also increase correspondingly. For example, a devil cultivator with level 5 inner force might only be able to use the 5th style twice, but he could use the first style many times. Xiaochen didn't directly practice the 5th style. Instead, he planned to start experimenting with the first style. Thinking of this, Xiaochen began to carefully study the method of activating the martial skill and the mnemonic chant. The so-called martial skill was actually somewhat similar to the mnemonic chant, but the method of operation was different. The martial skill was to mobilize the devil qi in the body according to a certain method, then gather it together and activate it. Of course, there was no devil qi in Xiaochen's body, only vitality. But this didn't matter. According to the Elder Heaven Ancestor, his vitality was omnipotent. So, after practicing the first style of the Dark Flame Palm several times in his heart, Xiaochen stood up, took a deep breath, and prepared to activate it in actual combat. Circulating the mnemonic chant, the vitality in Xiaochen's body was suddenly mobilized. Xiaochen followed the mnemonic chant and moved the vitality to the position of his palms. Then he suddenly pushed out according to the method of activation. Dark Flame Palm. First style. Boom! A dazzling black flame was activated from Xiaochen's palms. It carried a scorching and deathly aura. Although the power wasn't particularly strong, the aura was quite scary. Xiaochen didn't expect that he would actually succeed in one try. This was a little surprising to him. Although Xiaochen had practiced it a few times in his heart, it was still just a simulation. He actually succeeded in activating it in one try. It seemed that what the Elder Heaven Ancestor said was right. The advantage of a cultivator was quite strong. Phew! Xiao Chen took a deep breath and retracted his palms. The power of the move, just now, was more than enough to deal with a martial artist of the same level. No wonder devil cultivators were stronger than martial cultivators. But now, from Xiao Chen's point of view, as a cultivator, his situation seemed to be more similar to devil cultivators. Could it be that those martial cultivators were jealous of devil cultivators, so they always found trouble with them? Thinking about it, it was really possible. Didn't Yu Xiaochuan claim to be the heir of a righteous sect? In the face of strength, didn't he still choose to cultivate some chrysanthemum treasure? What devil cultivator? What martial cultivator? If they could choose, who wouldn't choose the stronger one to cultivate? Of course, Xiao Chun was still a little hesitant to activate the martial technique in the house. He was afraid that he would burn the writing desk, bed, and so on. Taking advantage of the fact that the sky wasn't bright yet, Xiao Chun decided to go to the villa's backyard to test it out. The second move of the dark flame palm, Xiao Chun silently memorized the mantra and silently practiced the route of yuan qi circulation in his heart. Then he stood still in the yard and prepared to activate it. Boom! The second move of the dark flame palm. As expected, the second move was successfully activated. But this time, Xiao Chun didn't hold back and used all his strength to activate it. The black flames from his palms were endless, like a flood bursting out of a dam. The scorching flames and the dark aura of death made people feel like they were in a sea of fire. What a strong power! Xiao Chun thought in his heart. If he had been able to activate the second move of the dark flame palm, when he faced the assassin who tried to assassinate him, he would have been able to defeat him. In the face of such a majestic move, even a martial artist with stage 3 inner strength could only retreat. Not to say that he could kill them, but at least he could make them not dare to get close. However, Xiao Chun was a little puzzled. Since these devil cultivators were so strong, how could they be suppressed by martial cultivators? Releasing such a strong martial technique, wasn't this the same as suppressing the enemy? The second move was already so powerful. Wouldn't the later moves be even more powerful? And now, Xiao Chun felt that martial cultivators occupied the majority of the martial artists, and devil cultivators were only a small part. Chapter 304. Xiao Chun, what are you thinking? The voice of the elder heaven ancestor came into Xiao Chun's ears. Your qi is omnipotent, and the conversion efficiency is very high. It's like a car. Using your qi is more powerful than using gasoline. If it was an ordinary devil cultivator, this move would definitely not have such power. It can only be said that the powerful ones are only slightly stronger than the martial cultivators. The normal ones are about the same. So that's how it is. Xiao Chun suddenly understood. He had thought that devil cultivators were so powerful. Weren't they invincible in the martial arts circle? How could they be suppressed by the orthodox sects? They would have long trampled on their opponents. After successfully activating the second move, Xiao Chun tried the third, fourth, and fifth moves of Dark Flame Palm. He could also activate them smoothly, and the power of each move was greater than the previous one. However, when activating the sixth move, Xiao Chun was a little stuck. After all, his true strength was only at the fifth level of the Qi refinement stage. Although he was at the peak of the fifth level of the Qi refinement stage, he could only activate the fifth move. Can I? After failing to activate the sixth move, Xiao Chun was a little disappointed. After all, he was very proficient in activating the first 5 moves. They were completed in one go without any hindrance. I say, Xiao Chun, do you really not know, or are you pretending not to know? Whether it's a martial cultivator or a devil cultivator, it's impossible to activate a martial skill in one go. Previously, you were able to activate the first 5 moves in one go. This is already relying on the advantage of a cultivator. This sixth move is equivalent to a martial skill of the same level as you. It's normal that you can't activate it directly. You just have to activate it a few more times, and it'll be fine. Oh, is that so? Xiao Chun was slightly stunned, and then he smiled bitterly. Indeed, he was too fixated on his rocket-like leveling up speed. He had never experienced the difficulties of a martial cultivator or a devil cultivator. Even a rare genius like Yi Xiaoye could not level up like Xiao Chen. It was also impossible for her to skillfully activate the fifth move in one night. This was unrealistic. Therefore, after listening to the Elder Heaven Ancestor's words, Xiao Chen relaxed. He took a deep breath and continued to practice the sixth style of the Dark Flame Palm. After deducing about 5 or 6 times, Xiao Chen could successfully activate it this time. Although he wasn't very proficient, he really succeeded in activating it. Looking at the black flames wrapped around his palms, Xiao Chen could not help but sigh. If he had been able to activate this move earlier, it would have been a piece of cake for him to kill Old Witch West Mountain. Xiao Chen couldn't help but have the urge to test the power of this palm. However, there was no enemy, and he couldn't hit randomly in the yard. This villa was rented. If it was damaged, he would have to pay for it. If outsiders saw it, they would be suspicious, so Xiao Chen could only endure it. Fortunately, after activating this palm, Xiao Chen's physical strength and true qi were almost consumed. Xiao Chen also needed to cultivate to restore his true qi. Thinking of this, Xiao Chen directly sat cross-legged on the ground and began to circulate the mantra. He began to quickly restore his physical strength and true qi. However, without the assistance of the spiritual jade, Xiao Chen's recovery speed was obviously not as fast. Originally, Xiao Chen wanted to try to see if he could continue to activate the 7th style of the Dark Flame Palm. But now it seemed that he could only wait. By the time Xiao Chen had recovered some of his physical strength, the sky was already bright. Xiao Chen then drove to school. After Li Shaning returned, it could be said that he was severely reprimanded by the current head of the Li family, Li Chaoba. Do you know the value of these pieces of ancient jade? You used them to gamble with others? It's fine if you won, but now you've lost. Li Chaoba was very angry. The colorful Li family was an ancient martial arts family with a deep foundation. Different from those newly promoted martial arts families, Li Chaoba usually liked to collect some very valuable antiques. Those ancient jades were one of those collections. When he heard that the ancient jades were lost by Li Shaning, how could he not be angry? These things were no longer a matter of money. They were priceless items, although one of them did not have too much history. But the other one was a real good collection. Grandson also did not expect such a situation to occur. Li Shaning knelt on the ground, lowered his head and carefully said, "Grandson is also eager to avenge Big Brother. Our Li family was bullied like this. Grandson can't not take revenge. I can understand your eagerness to avenge your big brother. But you can't let hunger get to your head," Li Chaoba said. "Tell me, from the time you started to avenge until now, how much have you lost? Let's not talk about that, Brother Heifeng. You lost another 2 pieces of ancient jade. You went for wool and came home shorn." "Grandpa, I know I was wrong." Grandson has thought it through now. Everything must be planned before taking action. Li Shaning quickly said, "Well, since you have this awareness, it is not considered a loss for nothing. A fall into the pit, a gain in your wit," Li Chaoba said. "In the 3rd generation of the Li family, besides Li Shandiao, you are the oldest. The Li family's rule is to only respect the elders, not the juniors. Now you are the 3rd generation successor. Your actions represent the Li family, not yourself." "I understand," Li Shaning said. "Grandpa, please rest assured, this time to deal with Xiao Chen, I will definitely think of a comprehensive and complete solution. First, tell me about the situation of you dealing with Xiao Chen. I will help you analyze and advise." Li Chaoba originally did not intend to intervene in this kind of matter. After all, how could Li Shaning not be able to deal with a waste young master who was chased out of a small foreign family? But in fact, Li Shaning really did not manage to deal with it. After all, he had a few bad starts, so Li Chaoba had to intervene and ask about it. Otherwise, if he could not even trample such a small waste to death, then he would be too weak. "Yes, Grandpa." Li Shaning quickly explained the process of him dealing with Xiao Chen to Li Chaoba in detail. He did not dare to hide anything. After all, these things were easy to find out. Chao Yuliang and Chen Jinping were both involved. Li Chaoba listened to Li Shanying's narration and could not help but frown. He pondered for a while and said, "From what you said, it seems that this Xiao Chun is not a fool. He seems to have some ability. At least in terms of racing, he is a rare genius. I have to admit that his racing skills are very good. Those traps are not very effective against him." Li Shanning nodded. Although it was a bit of a boost to others' morale, Li Shanning had to admit that Xiao Chun was very talented in racing. Not only his driving skills, I feel that this person's IQ is not low. Although he is a loser, he is not a loser in other aspects. I don't believe that he can't see that Chao Yuliang wants to harm him again and again. How stupid can he be? Li Chaoba said. I think he saw it, but he felt that it was beneficial to him, so he accepted the appointment again and again. Is it possible? Li Shanning was stunned and fell into deep thought. To be honest, in his eyes, Xiao Chun was an arrogant and greedy guy. If it was really like what his grandpa said, then this Xiao Chun's scheming was deep enough. Nothing is impossible, Li Chaoba said. If it were you, would you still accept the appointment if you were repeatedly tricked to be put to death? I don't think so. Li Shanning shook his head. That's why he was tricked again and again. That's why I feel that his IQ is not too high. But in other words, it can also be said that his IQ is very high, Li Chaoba said. Moreover, he is proficient in scheming. In a situation where he knows that he will win, he will accept the appointment, and then profit from you and Chao Yuliang. Then what should I do next? Li Shanning felt that his grandpa should not be talking nonsense. After all, old people become shrewd, so there should be some truth in what he said. Now that he carefully recalled, he did not think that Xiao Chun was stupid. This person seemed to be proficient in scheming, and every time he gained the advantage, crush him with absolute strength. Li Chaoba said, absolute strength? Although our Li family has a deep relationship with the warrior guild, if we rashly intervene in the affairs of Songning City, wouldn't it bring unnecessary trouble? Li Shanning hesitated and asked. Although Li Shanying's great-grandfather was one of the vice presidents of the warrior guild, he was not the only vice president. There were other family forces, so Li Shanning did not want to leave an excuse for others to criticize the Li family. Under normal circumstances, it is definitely impossible. Li Chaoba laughed. However, after a while, there will be a small summit between the demon sect and the righteous sections. Our colorful Li family is also one of the representatives of the righteous sections. Naturally, we will also send people to participate, and I intend to let you go. Oh, I don't have to hide my strength anymore? Li Shanning was slightly stunned. It turned out that he had indeed hidden his strength. It seemed that these aristocratic families' descendants were used to hiding their strength. The purpose was also to prevent the enemy from figuring out their trump cards and methods. If you want to go to the front stage, it is time to show your strength, Li Chaoba said. With your strength, killing Xiao Chun should be very easy. At that time, the demon sect, the righteous sects, and the Supernatural Investigation Bureau will all appear in Songning City. With so many warriors who would know who killed Xiao Chun, you won't even need to use martial arts to kill Xiao Chun. So there will not be any evidence left. Then I understand. Don't worry, Grandpa. As long as I make a move, that Xiao Chun is just an ant. I can pinch him to death at any time. Li Shanning said excitedly. How are your eyes? Li Chaoba asked. Huang Yaosher has already taken a look for me. I should be able to recover. Li Shanning was very depressed when he talked about his eyes. This matter was really messed up. Damn it, it could even be crushed by a tire. Fortunately, he was a hidden warrior. He endured until he came back and found the family's Huang Yaosher to treat him. Chapter 305. Fortunately, his eye was saved. Well, you should get ready. Between Chao Yuliang and Chen Jinping, which of the two families is more reliable and can be supported as a subordinate force of our Li family? Li Chaoba asked. Chen Jinping is easier to control, but Chao Yuliang is a bit cunning. Li Shanning said. It's just that Chen Jinping is Chao Yuliang's little brother, so it's not easy to instigate him directly. But the Chen family is the most suitable. Because Chen Huanling is the vice president of the Songming Martial Artists Guild. Well, let's put this matter aside for now. I'll think about how to do it. Li Chaoba didn't let Li Shanying contact them directly, but decided to wait and see. Okay, Grandpa. Li Shanying nodded and retreated to prepare for the competition at the summit. What Xiao Chen didn't know was that the matter between him and Shen Jingxian yesterday had aroused Shen Jinghao's suspicion. Although Shen Jinghao didn't directly ask Shen Jingxian about it, he still found someone to inquire about what happened at Cheng Minjing's birthday party the next day. He found that it was indeed Xiao Chen who sent Shen Jingxian back that night, and the car was indeed Xiao Chen's. Most importantly, Shen Jingxian didn't drink at the party. She didn't drink. Logically speaking, Shen Jingxian shouldn't have fallen asleep in the car. Did something really happen between her and Xiao Chen? Shen Jinghao couldn't believe it. In his opinion, no matter who Shen Jingxian liked, she wouldn't like Xiao Chen, because the gap between them was too big. When Xiao Chen was in Songming First High School and hadn't been expelled from the Xiao family, Shen Jingxian had no feelings for Xiao Chen. When Shen Jinghao asked for her engagement partner, he also listed all the children of these families and mentioned Xiao Chen. But at that time, Shen Jingshuan's reaction was very indifferent. She also said that Xiao Chen was Cheng Minjing's fiancé, so it was impossible for them to be together. Now, Xiao Chen was expelled from the Xiao family and transferred to the second high school. Was it possible for the two to have a relationship? But as soon as this idea came to his mind, Shen Jinghao felt more and more suspicious. He couldn't ask Shen Jingxian directly, but he could ask Chen Jinping about his relationship with Shen Jingxian and about Xiao Chen. Therefore, when Shen Jinghao came to this conclusion, he was going to talk to Chen Jinping and take him to Chen Huanling to see if he could solve the family's need for medicinal herbs. Chen Jinping was very happy to be asked out by Shen Jinghao. Although Shen Jingxian was indifferent to him, wasn't the engagement of a big family like this? Once the family approved of it, the opinions of the parties involved didn't seem to matter. As long as Shen Jinghao approved of him, there wouldn't be any obstacles for him to be with Shen Jingxian. Uncle Shen, are you looking for me? For Chen Jinping, skipping class was a common occurrence. He directly greeted Chao Yuliang and went to the school gate to get in Shen Jinghao's car. Anne, I want to talk to you about Jingxian. Shen Jinghao smiled and said, how is your relationship with Jingxian? Ah, it's okay. Chen Jinping didn't dare to tell the truth. The truth was that their relationship wasn't going well, and it seemed to be getting more and more uncoordinated. However, he didn't dare to say this kind of thing. Oh yes, last night, why did Xiao Chen send Jingxian back? Didn't you send her back? Shen Jinghao asked calmly. Yesterday, don't mention it. Yesterday, Brother Liang. Oh, it's Chao Yuliang. I don't know what happened to him, but he talked nonsense at Cheng Minjing's party. After that, he said that he didn't know what he said. I had no choice but to go and comfort him. Chen Jinping said with some depression. Oh, I heard that Xiao Chen used to pursue Jingxian? Will there be a revival between him and Jingxian? Jinping, you have to be careful. Shen Jinghao reminded him. I'm angry when I talk about this. Chen Jinping was also very sullen. There was no one to talk to before. This time, it was Shen Jinghao who took the initiative to find him. So, he complained about Xiao Chen's various evil deeds, including Xiao Chen and Shen Jingxian falling into the sea together and coming back together. Xiao Chen invited Shen Jingxian to sit in his car. These things were all told to Shen Jinghao. Oh, there are these things. Shen Jinghao's heart sank. The contact between Shen Jingxian and Xiao Chen was frequent these days. Did something really happen between them in private? What made him most suspicious was why Shen Jingxian got in the car when Xiao Chen invited her. He couldn't understand this behavior. If Shen Jingxian didn't like Xiao Chen, why did she get in the car? The first time they fell into the sea, it could be said to be an accident, but this time, there was obviously a purpose. So Shen Jinghao asked, why did Jingxian get in Xiao Chen's car? This is also my fault. I joked that Xiao Chen can pursue Jingxian. Chen Jinping said, I didn't expect Xiao Chen to be so shameless. Don't you know Jingshuan's character? She isn't good at rejecting and attacking others. There was nothing wrong with Shen Jingshuan's character being kind, But to say that Shen Jingxian agreed to get in the car with Xiao Chun because he wanted to pursue her, it was a bit unbelievable. Jinping, I don't want to scold you, but how can you make such a joke? Shen Jinghao's face became serious. In the future, you should stop making such jokes. It's not good for both of our families. I understand. Chen Jinping couldn't say it out loud. He could basically guess that it was because he told Shen Jingxian that someone wanted to harm Xiao Chun on the road. And Shen Jingxian was such a kind person. She was afraid that something would happen to Xiao Chun, so she got in Xiao Chun's car. If he said this, Shen Jinghao would definitely be very angry. You knew it was dangerous. Why didn't you stop Shen Jingxian from getting in the car? What if Li Shanning went crazy and killed Shen Jingxian as well? Oh right, let's go visit your father together. We can talk about your engagement with Jingxian. Shen Jinghao wanted to use the engagement to pressure Chen Huanling, so that he would do his best to help the Shen family get the herbs. The reason why he brought Chen Jinping was because he knew that Chen Jinping liked Shen Jingxian very much. With him adding fuel to the fire, Chen Huanling might agree for the sake of his son. Okay, that's great. Chen Jinping was very happy to hear that he was going to get engaged with Shen Jingxian. If they really got engaged, then Xiao Chun would be the best, and Shen Jingxian would be his. Shen Jinghao drove to the Warrior Guild, to Chen Huanling's office. Brother Shen, why are you here? Chen Huanling didn't hesitate, and quickly got up to greet him. Although he was the vice leader of the Warrior Guild, Shen Jinghao was also a direct descendant of the Shen family, so he didn't dare to slight him. Haha, I saw Jinping when I sent Jingxian to school today. I chatted with him to see how his relationship with Jingxian is. Shen Jinghao smiled and said, we chatted, and Jinping said that he wanted to confirm his engagement with Jingxian as soon as possible, so I brought him here. Shen Jinghao was also very careful with his words. He turned his own intention into Chen Jinping's intention. However, Chen Jinping didn't feel that there was anything wrong with it. This was his intention anyway. Shen Jinghao's words highlighted the weight of Chen Jinping's words. So it's like this. Engagement is a good thing. Chen Huanling nodded. I heard that the Yu family and the Tang family are also preparing to hold an engagement ceremony in the next few days. Speaking of which, these big families are almost ready. We can also make preparations here. Yes, but this is a big thing after all. I have to inform the Shen family. Shen Jinghao said. However, in order to show the ability of the in-laws, can Vice Leader Chen show some courage? Can you get some of the medicinal herbs I asked for before? This way, Jinping will also have faith. After all, to put it bluntly, although you're the vice president of the Songning Martial Arts Guild, the Shen family is. I know this. When Chen Huanling heard Shen Jinghao's words, he basically understood everything. He knew why Shen Jinghao was here. After all, it was still the matter of medicinal herbs. He said somewhat helplessly, Elder brother Shen, it's not that I don't want to help you, but a while ago, I really asked shopkeeper Tai from the Warrior Market to help me deal with the Sun family. If I ask him again in such a short period of time, it's not very good. Besides, it's hard to say if he will continue to help. After all, favors are mutual. He didn't ask me for anything, so how can I ask him? Previously, Shen Jinghao thought that Chen Huanling's excuses were all excuses, but now that Chen Huanling said it so clearly, it didn't seem like he was lying. So he could only smile bitterly and say, Brother Chen, Big Brother is really anxious. If he wasn't anxious, he wouldn't have come personally to talk about this. Alright, I'll ask for you. Chen Huanling also saw that Shen Jinghao was anxious. Looking at his son's expectant gaze, he knew that this kid was infatuated with Shen Jingxian and really wanted to get engaged. So Chen Huanling could only put down his pride and ask Tai Muching for help again. Give me a list of the medicinal herbs you need. I'll go and talk to shopkeeper Tai now. Thank you so much, Brother Chen. Shen Jinghao was overjoyed. He quickly took out the list that he had prepared and handed it to Chen Huanling. This is it. The more the better. Alright, wait for me here with Jinping. Chen Huanling glanced at the list, nodded and left the office. Tai Muching didn't expect Chen Huanling to trouble him again. He looked at the list in his hand and casually put it to the side. He only smiled and said, "Vice President Chen, you really think highly of me. These medicinal ingredients are all incomparably precious and limited. I can't even get a few of them in a year. Moreover, they all require a lot of points to exchange for them. Don't even talk about a large quantity. It'll be very strenuous for me to gather just one medicinal ingredient for you. If I directly sell them to you without points, I'll be making a huge mistake. If I were to be investigated by the higher-ups because of this, I'd be wasting my effort for nothing." Chapter 306. Chen Huanling was a little embarrassed. He had never heard of most of the medicinal herbs on this list. He wasn't a pharmacist, and he didn't pay attention to these things. Naturally, he didn't know the value. When he heard that these medicinal herbs were so precious, he knew that things would be difficult. However, when he thought about it, if Shen Jinghao couldn't get them, how could the medicinal herbs that he had to ask the warriors' market to find be ordinary? Then, how many can I get at most? Chen Huanling asked quickly. At most, I can get you 4 to 5 medicinal herbs, and the quantity isn't much. It's the stock of our Songming warriors' market over the years. If I want more, I need to book it with the headquarters. However, I don't have a reason to do so, and I don't have enough points to pay the bill. Tai Muching said, "So I hope that Vice President Chen can understand my difficulties." Tai Muching didn't want to offend Chen Huanling, but he wouldn't risk his life to help him. Although Chen Huanling occupied a key position, the Hong family had to spend a lot of effort to befriend him. Therefore, Chen Huanling didn't want to apply for these medicinal herbs for him. Moreover, even if he applied, he could only apply for 1 or 2 of each. He, Tai Muching, didn't have the ability to do more. Only 4 to 5. Chen Huanling could only smile bitterly. Then, I'll have to trouble Vice President Huanling. To be honest, these are what my in-laws, the Shen family, want. I have no choice but to try my best. And I'll try my best. Tai Muching nodded. Chen Huanling couldn't say anything else, so he could only leave first. When he returned to his office, he saw Shen Jinghao looking at him with anticipation. He didn't hide anything and told Shen Jinghao exactly what Gui Muching had told him. After listening, Shen Jinghao couldn't help but be silent. Indeed, he understood what Tai Muching said. The medicinal herbs that the Shen family needed were extremely precious and rare. If they were easy to purchase, they wouldn't need to ask Chen Huanling. However, it seemed that Shen Jinghao still overestimated Chen Huanling's ability. It seemed that even the president of the Songming Warriors Guild wouldn't have an easy time ordering these medicinal herbs. Not to mention more than one portion, it was impossible. Thinking of this, Shen Jinghao could not help but feel a little disappointed. If he did not have an advantage in the procurement of medicinal herbs, then Shen Jingmao would be at a disadvantage in the future young master election. The Shen family's selection of successors wasn't based on age, but the one who could bring benefits to the development of the Shen family and make the Shen family prosperous would be the head of the family. This was also the rule that had been set in the past. Originally, the Shen family was similar to these ordinary aristocratic families. However, after several generations of hard work, it had become more and more like the colorful Li family. Although their foundation was not as good as the Li family's, their overall strength was more or less the same. "Brother Chen, please do your best in this matter," Shen Jinghao said. "As for other channels, I will think of another way." "No problem. As you can see, it's not that I don't want to help, but it's really difficult," Chen Huanling said. "But Brother Shen, I suggest you contact the Xie family in the provincial capital and see if they can help you with a few medicinal herbs." "But I don't have any way." Shen Jinghao and the Xie family didn't have much interaction. After all, he was also an outsider, so he said, "I don't know if Brother Chen has any way." "Way there is, but I still have to ask Manager Tai." Chen Huanling smiled bitterly. "I really can't find him to talk about it." "If that's the case, I understand. All right, I will go find them myself." Shen Jinghao also knew that Chen Huanling was not shirking the responsibility, but he really couldn't help. "Brother Shen, how did you decide on the marriage between Jinpeng and Jingxian?" Chen Huanling asked. I mean, after all, the two children are still young. They are currently only in high school. Let's wait until they go to university before holding the engagement ceremony. Shen Jinghao was a little disinterested. He was not an extremely snobbish person, but for the sake of his son, Shen Jingmao, some things must be considered thoroughly. Right now, the Chen family couldn't provide him with that much help, so there was no need for Shen Jinghao to throw out his chips too early. After all, Chen Jingquan was in trouble before, and Jinping is considered a replacement. If we directly get engaged now, it will be easy for people to gossip. Is that so? Chen Huanling's expression changed slightly. Although he was the vice president of the warrior guild, he hadn't been in this position for long. The Chen family was only an ordinary aristocratic family. They weren't as influential as the Shen family. No matter what, Shen Jingxian would be considered marrying down. Therefore, although he was a little unhappy with Shen Jinghao's words, he didn't dare to directly object. He could only nod and say, "Then everything will be arranged by Brother Shen. All right, then I'll settle it." Shen Jinghao nodded. Although the Chen family could currently provide little help to Shen Jingmao, in reality, Shen Jinghao couldn't find a better partner, so he didn't refuse. With Chen Huanling's position, Chen Huanling had more connections than the other aristocratic families. Although he couldn't gather all the medicinal ingredients, it would be good if he could gather some. After bidding farewell to Chen Huanling, Shen Jinghao left with Chen Jinping. He sent Chen Jinping back to school, while Shen Jinghao went to find people familiar with the Xie family to pull some strings. Chen Jinping's expression immediately collapsed after he got out of the car. Although he was a little stunned, if he couldn't understand such a clear sentence, then he would really have lived for nothing. As for Shen Jinghao, because he didn't receive enough help from his father, he wasn't willing to marry his daughter. However, Chen Jinping was a junior. Although he understood, what could he do without his father's opinion? What he wanted most now was whether he could push Shen Jingxian down. As long as he pushed Shen Jingxian down, then even if Shen Jinghao didn't agree, there was nothing he could do. What was done was done. What else could he do? However, with the current relationship between Chen Jinping and Shen Jingxian, let alone push her down, it was impossible for them to even hold hands. This was really difficult. He walked into school with a gloomy face, planning to discuss with Chao Yuliang to see if there was any good way. If it was an ordinary girl, then he could do it by force. However, if it was Shen Jingxian, then there would be a lot of problems. If it was done well, he could let Shen Jingxian marry him. If it wasn't done well, then they would be mortal enemies. Chen Jinping couldn't afford the consequences. Cheng Mingqiang was scolded yesterday, partly because of LV Fangzhen, and also because he broke a piece of ancient jade. Although Cheng Mingqiang explained, he didn't know that LV Fangzhen and Xiao Chun weren't on the same side. He thought that they came together, so he talked nonsense. LV Fangzhen didn't want to deal with the Cheng family. As for the spiritual jade, since it could be broken, then it was fake, so he didn't care so much. However, old Master Cheng still scolded Cheng Mingqiang. The development of our Cheng family is done step by step. We can't offend any force. You are too impulsive. This time LV Fangzhen doesn't care. But next time someone else comes, it is likely to lead to the destruction of our Cheng family. Cheng Mingqiang seemed to be a yes man on the surface, but he didn't think so in his heart. Pretending to be a grandson? What's the point of that? The Cheng family had already entered a bottleneck period in Songning City. What's so good about being the head of the aristocratic families? Out of Songning City, wouldn't we still be nothing? However, old Master Cheng seemed to be satisfied with this. He didn't continue to expand the Cheng family. Moreover, he began to be very cautious in dealing with people. He didn't dare to offend anyone. This was simply too depressing. Cheng Mingqiang felt that it was good to rely on a big force like his father. Even if he offended some people, as long as the big force behind him didn't fall, then the Cheng family's meteoric rise was just around the corner. However, after being scolded by old Master Cheng Mingqiang hated Xiao Chen even more. Whether it was offending Medicine Master Lu or breaking the ancient jade, it was all because of Xiao Chen. However, The most important thing was that the force behind his father wanted Xiao Chun to die. Coming out of old Master Cheng's room, Cheng Mingxiang returned to his room and dialed Chao Yuliang's phone number immediately. "Boss, are you looking for me?" Chao Yuliang picked up the phone with trepidation. He had just been scolded yesterday. He didn't know if Cheng Mingxiang had calmed down today. "Chao Yuliang, I only ask you one question. When will Xiao Chun die?" Cheng Mingxiang said angrily. "This boss, I also want him to die, but there is no good way here for the time being." Chao Yuliang said with a bitter face. "Boss, I want him to die more than anyone else. Don't say those useless things. I'm asking you, when will Xiao Chun die?" Cheng Mingxiang interrupted Chao Yuliang's words and asked. I will try my best. I will try to kill him as soon as possible." Chao Yuliang said weakly. "Okay, this is what you said. I will wait for your news. Don't let me wait too long. My patience is limited." "How long has it been?" "It has been more than a month since you guaranteed that Xiao Chun would die. I don't want to wait any longer." Cheng Mingxiang was anxious because the forces behind his father were urging them to kill Xiao Chun as soon as possible. Wiping the cold sweat on his head, Chao Yuliang immediately dialed the phone number that Li Shanning left for him. If he wanted to kill Xiao Chun, at present, he could only rely on Li Shanning. He wanted to see if Li Shanning had any new tricks. "Young Master Chao, what's the matter?" Li Shanning was preparing for the Righteous Devil Summit. Recently, he had been practicing hard and had not contacted Chao Yuliang. "Young Master Li, when will you continue to make a move? I am ready to be deployed at any time," Chao Yuliang said. "Oh, let's forget about that matter first. Our Li family has suffered heavy losses. I was also scolded by Grandpa. Grandpa said that the culprit who killed my elder brother should be Lin Chao, not Xiao Chun. Now that Lin Chao is dead, this matter is over. He won't let me do it again," Li Shanning said. You're tuning in to the Journey of the Soul YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.